guess I am. I got a wall of hurt living under my shirt. I don't want to talk about that, 'cause I got the love and a beautiful woman. There's nothing's gonna take her place. She make me feel just like a natural born winner when I'm not even in the race. That's why they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Never had a whole lot of money. I was never good at games and chance. When I'm playing cards with my buddies, where the money flies right out of my pants. Don't you know I got a little secret? It's the ace of hearts up my sleeve. And when I get home to my honey, she give me love like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. When I'm walking through my neighborhood, everybody knows I'm feeling good. See me smiling from my head to my feet. They say, ain't that Mr. Lucky coming down the street? Hey, that's me. I'm Mr. Lucky when you kiss my lips, when you touch me with your fingertips. I'm Mr. Lucky when you hold me tight. I'm Mr. Lucky when we kiss goodnight. Baby, they call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky, and I thank my stars above. You can call me Mr. Lucky, 'cause I'm lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. Call me Mr. Lucky in love. You know that's right. Baby, 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 baby.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Wednesday? That means hump day. We here at the Tom Gully Show, as always, hope that you're receiving the full, total, and complete amount of hump that you so desperately crave and you so rightfully deserve. Tonight, we're going to tell you about No Filter Paul in just a matter of seconds. First, a little business to take care of. Please like, share, subscribe, notification bell, retweet, so that we may serve the almighty algorithm, and then we also have subscriptions, super chats, memberships. Avail yourselves of those if you'd like. We have a monetary goal every night. It is any amount of money. And turn on your gifted memberships. You could get a freebie. Normally, I would say a bunch of silly, boring bullshit right now. Oh, wait a minute. No Filter Paul is abandoned. He's abandoned his chair. I'll bring him on as soon as he shows up. Oh, let's see what we got in the chat here. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, is verified by independent sources. State of balls. I don't know what that means. Let's see here. SG Fanboy says, is this the No Filter Paul? Yeah, there's only one. It's the one and only. Let's see here. SG Fanboy, well, thank you, is gifted 5 Tom Gully Show memberships. And hey, if you get one right now, you can go back and watch that interview with the Wolf we did this weekend. We might do more. Look at that collar. This collar? What's wrong with this collar? Goalkeeper collar. Funky Bro says, wow, I'm so drunk I can barely see. Well, good for you. I just want to prove to you guys, we do have No Filter Paul. He'll be here any moment. Look at that collar. Oh, Turkatron is here. Legendary Turkatron is here. There he is. He's in the green room now. All right, here he is. Everybody, brace yourselves. Those of you who are fans of Opie and Anthony, well, you already know this guy. Those of you who have been in any comedy club in the Northeast, you've probably seen him too. The one, the only. It's No Filter Paul. Everybody, there he is.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, we hear you fine.
All right. Yeah, stupid StreamYard. Give me. You've unplugged your headphones. I'm like, no, I haven't.
Well, so you were talking about earlier how spicy do we go here tonight?
I don't know. We can figure that out as we go along.
Okay, so I met you through a show you were doing, and I think I remember. I didn't know who No Filter Paul was because I'd listened to Opie and Anthony, but I just hadn't heard any of those episodes. So I just came on a show, and I started tearing into your poor wife Denise because she was being somewhat unreasonable.
Yeah, that's never happened.
Yeah, and then,
didn't we meet through the mutual hatred of Derek Relaford?
Yes, we did. Well, we didn't meet that way; it just happened that way. But I think we did an hour and a half of fat jokes.
Yeah, definitely.
Something like that. Okay, so you grew up in Atlanta?
Yeah, just outside Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah.
Isle of Wight County in Virginia. Yeah, wrong.
Yeah. So you grew up in England.
Yes.
I've never asked you this before. Who were your comedy influences growing up?
Growing up? Oh my God, you definitely won't know him. Jimmy Jones is like a lot of the comedians that I knew, we used to get bootleg VHS tapes, and we're talking about early 80s now.
Mm-hmm.
And comedy at that point in England was really like working men's clubs, so it was as blue, as racist, as misogynistic as you can imagine, times 10. and then you had a lot of
so slightly less than you.
Yes. But yeah, we had Jimmy Jones. What's that guy's name? We had this one guy that some of them tried to continue, like Dice did after the PC thing went.
Yeah.
And Bernard Manning, that's the guy. But again, you wouldn't have heard of him. Jim Davison, you wouldn't have heard of him. These are all British comedians that were just on that circuit, in the working men's clubs, and they were as dirty as you could imagine. Roy Chubby Brown, who to this day can sell out massive theaters, especially in the north of England, but I actually know his manager, and he won't fly. Otherwise, he would absolutely be an investment I would make, because if I put him in New York City, everyone from England would go. Huge. Cool. And the dirtiest fucking stuff. Dirtiest stuff. Yeah. Dirtiest stuff. Hilarious stuff.
So you weren't a Monty Python and
on TV, but that's not stand-up.
Yeah.
If we're talking about stand-up, but if you're talking about TV, Monty Python I didn't get into so quickly. 40 Towers was huge. The Young Ones.
No, the Young Ones. Rising Damn was my favorite.
Well, Rising Damn, so it's an odd one in comparison, right?
Yeah.
It's an odd one in comparison. It's not. When you say comedy, that's not the first thing that comes out. When a show starts off with the guy killing himself in the fucking ocean. I mean, that's my humor right there, but it's just not what everybody listening may not have heard of that show, but they definitely didn't know that the beginning of that show was the guy walking out in the ocean and killing himself.
Yeah.
But
so you came over here, and a lot of people in the chat right now are just they're asking you things like ask him about walking on Greg shells.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. So when Anthony was ceremoniously fired for making comments about a black lady that punched him in the face in New York City because he was taking photos. I think it was like 12:45 a.m. Ironically, he had a concealed carry permit at the time, but
Yeah.
instead of shooting her, he decided to shoot his mouth off at her.
Right.
And Sirius wanted nothing to do with him after that. The Opie and Anthony went to war pretty damn quickly.
Yeah.
After that. And Greg Shells was what Anthony called how you dealt with Opie. You didn't want to say nothing in front of him because you were walking on instead of eggshells, obviously Greg Shells.
So how did you get in with them? I mean, were you a fan of the show and just because I know you and you, some would say are persistent, others would say endlessly harass people until you get.
It's so funny you say that because there's two people in the comedy community around me now. Now I've been in the stand-up community as a comedian for a while, like 6-7 years at this point. I've calmed down a bit because at the start you want to be on everything, right? So you talk your way into every show, and then you drive to Delaware and you find out it's in some dude's backyard and it's just you, him, and a microphone stand, and you're like, why did I beg to be on this garbage? So there's actually a couple of guys that just get onto every show, and the one guy is like 70, and he even managed to convince 2 local newspapers to write articles about his new journey into comedy since he retired. And he's absolutely the worst. Absolutely the worst. This is how bad he is. We went to an open mic, and it was like 8 of us, maybe 12. After the show, he messaged this girl that I knew from Pennsylvania and said, "Hey, a lot of people said me and you were the only 2 funny people on that open mic," which is interesting because there was nobody else there. And I know for a fact that they definitely didn't say this about that guy.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, because she called me up and she's like, "What the fuck's wrong with this guy?" Because I know she knew I did okay, and of course I predicted what would happen. The next day he called her back and he said, "Hey, can you introduce me to some bookers in your area?" So the whole thing was a plan for him to get a hook into west of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to read some of the comments.
No, I'm just putting them up here.
Are you putting everything up, or you just putting
I'm just
what you feel like
picking up? Tom Gully saved my life. I really didn't. You never know what's going to be in here, but. So did you hear this?
That's what it is. You have a depressing life. You get to the point where you want to put a gun in your mouth. You turn on the Tom Gully show, and that's what stops you pulling the trigger.
I would think that was the reason you started.
That's what I was saying. You watch the Tom Gully show, and then you go buy an illegal AR-15 and put it in your mouth.
I mean, I tell people this is the world's only known cure for insomnia. But did you?
No, that's my wife explaining something.
We'll get to that later. So
that's like Anthony Ennis is like, I love watching TV with my wife. Who the hell doesn't want 45 questions in 20 minutes?
So what was your first trying to get your foot in the door at Opie?
So I came across the show because of my nephew. He introduced me to it. And I started listening to it, and I'm like, I got to be part of this, right? I got to be part of it. So my brain's doing 500 miles an hour about how I'm gonna get hooked into this. And it was actually kind of by accident in the end. It wasn't even something I thought of. Because I'm one of those guys where I know that a lot of things in life you get one try at, right? So if you fuck it up, that's the end of it.
Well, like your marriage.
Yeah, I fucked that up. But it's kind of like when I sent my comedy to Norton. Everybody said to me when I was in 2 weeks into comedy, "Why don't you send your comedy to Norton?" And I'm like, because if he does watch it, because he'd watch it because he's a friend of mine, But if he watches it and it sucks, he's not going to watch it again.
No.
So actually what happened is on the show, Norton was trying to watch Caligula on a DVD player.
Yeah.
And the DVD player kept freezing up. And that DVD player was made by JVC, the electronics company.
And you
and I worked there. So guess who fixed Norton's DVD player so he could watch Caligula?
Yeah, without you, he would never been able to see Helen Mirren's tits.
Yeah,
which
pretty much.
Nobody wants to go through life like that. So you start like interacting with these people. When did they realize this guy does not have
Well, this interaction with Norton happened really, really close to when they got fired out of NEW for doing the Sex for Sam thing.
Yeah.
So I actually went to his house a few times, but apparently he doesn't get up until 8 p.m. So it doesn't matter how hard you knock on the door, ring the doorbell, he doesn't. So I actually went to his house a couple of times and couldn't get him to wake up, which is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up meeting him backstage at Tough Crowd. Remember Tough Crowd?
Oh yeah, that's why is it gone? You know.
Yeah. But so I actually, it was kind of cool. I went there. They gave me a front row seat. I watched it, and then afterwards they took me, and it was so weird because it's weird how TV studios are set up in New York City. We actually got in an elevator and went upstairs to an office. It's like so bizarre that TV studios on floor 8 of an office building. It's just weird to me.
Well,
You know?
that's it's.
So I'm in an elevator with him and Patrice O'Neill.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, yeah. You know. But yeah, you know, I met him then, you know, and then we were talking, and I offered to build his website after he was talking about websites, because websites weren't a crazy big thing then, right? They were in 2002. They were like whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, O&A had that camera in the studio that was one frame every 4 seconds.
Right.
You know, but someone just called me a greasy English guy. What fuck?
I saw that. Well,
you know what? I learned, you know, 10, 15 years ago not to read comments after you go on a radio show.
Well, yeah, that's probably wise. But she's from
7 million people telling you you're a cunt.
Well, she's from a Discord group for this guy called the Comedy Shaman.
Yeah, no, she's picking out everything that O&A picked out for 10 years. I said things instead of things with TH.
Yeah, and so the guy that she's in the Discord of, so trust me, if you saw him, you would not be offended by that comment. Doesn't matter what you say. If you have an English accent, you sound classy.
That's better.
Yeah, there we go.
So I went to Tough Crowd, got to see that a few times. And that's when ended up with Dice owing me $300 was right in that time.
See, I'm still upset about that.
Still owes me $300, and you know, can't really bring it up because all the people that I'm friends with work with him, so it's like, you know.
Didn't somebody bring it up to him one time?
Yeah, me on Facebook. No, I think a few. I brought it up in front of Kenny and Jim Florentine, and they just looked at each other and told me I got off easy.
So what are you most proud of? What do you think your biggest accomplishment, claim to fame, whatever, from Opie and Anthony is?
Oh my God, I know. I liked all of it. You know what I mean? It was so much fun. Some of the stuff they had me do, you well know, was pretty fucking crazy. You know, I was pretty much the dude they sent out to do the stupid shit.
Yeah, the diaper.
Yeah, oh my God, that's like the worst one.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know. Now, so you decide to start doing stand-up, which is where you're at now, and you've been doing it like a lot. And
yeah.
I remember when you were starting, it was like, wow, this guy he's serious. Because a lot of people, when they do stand-up comedy, you know the drill. I'm going to invite all my friends to an open mic. I'm going to go up. Everybody's going to laugh because they're my friends. Yay, I'm going to be a comedian. They might go to 2 or 3 more. They're done forever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even if they do a year, I've seen people that just disappear off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
You know?
But you're like, from the start, it was almost like you were working a professional stand-up comedy schedule.
Yeah. I mean, I did 200 the first year.
Yeah.
200 spots, which is
wow,
crazy. You know, I'm literally 50 away from my 1,000th right now.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so I'm
Now,
going right there.
was this just because you love comedy, or was it to get out of the house because, well, we all know who's in the house?
Yeah. No, no one told me when I was on O&A that I should do stand up, and it people don't understand that haven't done it. It's a big step to do that first time, you know, and if you and it's the first time is soul crushing. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's soul crushing, but as soon as you get off that awful first time, you're like, can I go up again? It's like that, but you get that bug, and
Yeah.
you're off.
Yeah. So we interviewed, what's the name of that lady we interviewed from England that won the big reality show? She didn't win it, maybe, but she was a big Honey Bee.
Oh yeah, Honey G.
Honey G.
She was like in the top 3 for X Factor.
Yeah.
The British X Factor. Yeah. Yeah.
That I couldn't believe that was a big thing that we were sitting there interviewing her. I didn't realize what a big deal she was until.
Oh, she's massive. She was massive, but maybe not for the exact reason.
No. He had like every single victim.
Well, X Factor is notorious for, and same as American Idol is notorious for having a few people that suck, as well as the people that don't. I actually found a DVD in a thrift shop, and I'm not even joking, like 2 days ago, called "The Worst of American Idol," and it stars William Hung.
Oh yeah.
I just saw it in a thrift shop for 25 cents. I'm like, I never heard of this. Can this be as bad as I think it will be? Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was worse.
But,
this is the one. Stand-up comedy, and Julian Caesar is a great guy. Stand-up comedy is an art form that discriminates against the disabled. I read that and went, yes, and
yeah.
Is there more? Because yeah, that's.
But first time I read that, I thought they meant there's no wheelchair ramp, and then I realized the play on words.
Let's see, King Charles III. He's not the king. Nobody voted for him.
You don't vote for kings.
Yeah, luckily. Okay, so one of my favorite moments is the wife's knee goes out during one of your shows.
Oh Jesus.
And you called for help, but you also videotaped everything all the way to the hospital and in the emergency room. And didn't she have a knee replacement or something?
Right, but that's what went out, the knee replacement.
Oh God. You're sitting there doing a show and she goes, I think I can't move. My knee's blocked. I can't.
Yeah, but you're missing the first part, which you probably don't remember. We were interviewing.
Yeah, the guy from the Ellen show. No, I remembered that because.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'll get to it, but right after the interview.
Yeah. I was like playing it off. I just turned the mic down. You saw that, right? I'm like, mute.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on. This is a big deal. And then, did I ever tell you he messaged me in the emergency room?
No.
Oh, because somehow his phone number got on the screen when I was clicking between windows, and some dude called him.
Oh my God.
So he's like, can you take it down? And I'm like, yeah, I'll fix it.
Do you ever not on stage? Well, even on stage, do you ever go, yeah, okay, I went too far there. That might have been a little too far.
I would say some topics, like if you say cancer, you never know which way you're going to get a reaction, regardless of what you say, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what you say, it's trigger words, right? I mean, there's a bunch you can't use now that you only use, in the highway on the way somewhere when you're driving, when someone cuts you off. But there's some, but there's just weird triggers now. It's like like when I first started, I was like, you've seen it because you did stand up. When the first, especially the younger comics, the first month or two they're like, oh my God, Holocaust, slaves, and we were on O&A, we were saying all that stuff. So of course, when I went to stand up, I'm like, and then I learned pretty fast that you don't have to. People were just horrified, especially now. I mean, maybe if I did stand up when O&A was going on, it would have been different time. I'm sure it was definitely a different time, right? It was 10 years previous, 15 years previous even,
Yeah.
10 to 15 years. But yeah, I did a whole thing on Saturday. We were supposed to do like 10 minutes each, and then there was a headliner doing 20, and I went up right before the headliner. And on the way up, the guy's like, "Hey, headliner's not here. We haven't heard from him." I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, all right, I'll do as much as I can." And so I'm up there. I do like 20, and the reason I mention it is because I said a cancer in the middle of it, and the whole room just puckered up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's the line then, huh? There's always one joke where you get that funny reaction. So my comeback is always, "Oh, that's the line. Finally, we found it."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But after 20 minutes, the host was waving a card at me, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. This is going to be the host. Headliners here. You can stop now." But no, it said keep going as long as you can on the paper.
Well, I don't know.
So I did longer. So I did 10 minutes longer than the headliner as the feature.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So.
Who is the headliner?
Vishnu Varka.
No.
You know him? He's an Indian guy that quit working at fucking Bank of America or somewhere. His wife's making a ton of money, so he told her he's doing stand-up. And he got introduced by Vinnie Brand, who owns the Stress Factory in New Jersey, to Josh Blue, and then Josh Blue introduced him to Russell Peters. And the next thing you know, Russell Peters' whole tour of Asia, Vishnu was the feature act.
That's probably wise.
And then Russell Peters walked him into the Comedy Cellar, and boom, he's passed at the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah.
It's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Yeah. Well, that's how I got you on the show. Let's see here.
My English is fucked up. Fuck off. Terry says he put on the freaking closed caption for me.
Yeah. Well, Terry's quite a crack up himself. Did you ever relieve yourself on the streets of Manhattan in a diaper?
No, I was back in the studio at the end.
Holy cow, Indian comics are rare. Not that rare.
Yes, Jill, that would be the stunt that I did among quite a few others.
Yeah. I seem to recall you and another guy dressed in, one guy was a Roman gladiator.
No, he was Fabio.
Oh, he was Fabio, and what?
I can't. It was TV. It was TV commercials. We were. I know what you're talking about. We were going to Anthony's for his Halloween party.
Yeah.
And I had a couple of people that once they knew you were an O&A, they'd be your friend. They tag along real quick. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Big A was the worst one because any girl that wanted to talk to him, he she's gonna blow me. I'm like, no, she's not. She just wants to go to Anthony's house. She's gonna blow Anthony. She's not gonna,
There's a hierarchy.
So I'm dressed as. I wish I could. Can you pull up pictures? If I send you a picture.
If you put a PDF.
No, a JPEG.
Yeah, StreamYard, and it's.
All right, hold on. I'll do it anyway. Yeah, so we dressed up in TV commercials, and John Hollywood, not his real name, of course. He was dressed as Fabio because he kind of looks like Fabio, minutely, slightly.
Where's the hair?
And John Hollywood Dave Hodge was dressed as Trojan Man.
Okay.
And I was dressed as Flo from Progressive.
And later,
on the way, we nearly died and got corkscrewed into the woods on Route 440 in Staten Island.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. There they are. And as this is at the hospital?
No, this is before we left the house.
Yeah.
This is before we nearly died.
Yeah. And it turned out you found out that people all over the highway were calling 911 about this guy that was going at an unheard of speed, bouncing off other cars.
Yeah, we hit the middle barrier. And then we literally corkscrewed in the air because off the side of the road was it went downhill.
Yeah.
So we went straight, corkscrewed into a tree, and then I got out of the car once I woke up. Hollywood says I was out for like a minute, and all I remember is opening my eyes because as soon as you're flying, what I did is I went in the corner by the door, thinking, I've seen, fucking Final Destination where the tree trunk comes through the, so I'm not doing that, And as soon as I open my eyes, there's smoke coming out of the dash, and I'm like, "Car's on fire!" That's Hollywood. Hollywood does that voice every time. And I get out of the car, and the fire department are there pretty quick. And the guy walked up to me, and he's like, "Holy shit, you guys don't fuck around, do you?"
And didn't you actually?
And then I got liked and retweeted by the Real Flow from Progressive on Twitter 2 years in a row. The following year and the year after. One time it was, "This is the best costume ever." And then the second year was a retweet from the same. I just posted different pictures. But yeah, that was the cool thing about it.
Yeah, but didn't
because I'm like, everybody knows I'm like the biggest fucking celebrity whore for that shit.
You're worse than Norton.
Yeah.
You get a selfie with everybody, but didn't the guy actually come and talk to you?
That's my picture, and underneath, look, Flow.
Yeah, best one yet.
But yeah, never. And fucking Kumia told me I was lying. It's full of shit. We never got into a car accident. I just didn't show up.
Well,
meanwhile, I'm posting pictures of me in a head brace.
Terry Nee super chats $1 in his nightly, really kind of passive aggressive, abusive super chat, because our goal is any amount of money. So he has.
Is that the minimum?
Yeah, it is. It's the minute. Well, no, I think you can probably do it for less. I don't know. But let's see here. That was.
What I like to do, and I'm exactly the same as Terry. I like to go on GoFundMe's and donate $1 in the name of somebody else. Childhood, rape victims in Cambodia. Tom Gardy has donated $1.
Well, yeah, some NAMBLA guys in jail.
Exactly. Dave Johnson, NAMBLA president. I wonder what they would do. I should do that. If you donate a NAMBLA and put yourself down as the NAMBLA president of some kid touching fucking charity thing. Jesus.
Yeah. Or just people.
What's up, Duncan?
People that you don't like, you donate $25, and then you put in the GoFundMe response area a quote from them. Dave Johnson says, "This organization has changed my life. I'm so happy I could donate to help." Whatever. But that's kind of a no filter Paul thing,
Yeah.
You kind of like to put people in those situations, don't you?
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best thing in the world. It's the best thing in the world. I'm wondering, because you pulled off really a spectacular move. You talked to a girl on bulletin boards from England, and she's in the United States. We'll get to her in a minute.
This was before even AOL chat rooms.
Yeah, even before AOL, and you managed to get her to. Well, did she fly you over? Did you fly yourself? Did you go Dutch?
That's a great question. I think she paid for the first flight.
Oh boy, see, even more of a Mac Daddy move. I ain't paying for no plane, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
So you go over, and did the second time you went over, you were here to stay, or was there a bunch of trips?
Oh no, there was a bunch. There was August, October, and then January was the one I stayed.
Oh boy.
But I was here before that. I was here February, and I was here June.
Okay. Oh, look at this. The NAMBLA joke is worth $2.
It's worth $3 if you do the acronym right. There's definitely an M in there. Definitely an M. No, Julian, this was before the internet. This was dial-up into bulletin boards where you typed, and it was ANSI. Younger people, I don't know how old you are, but younger people won't know, what it's like to use an @ sign to be a rose, and 2 minus signs and a greater than sign.
And what is it? Parentheses on both sides with
but for the bottom of the rose.
Well, no, I'm talking about you can make boobs or you can make a butt with the
Well,
parentheses.
boobs is a left bracket, small O, right bracket, left bracket, small O, right bracket.
Yeah. Yeah, and I often wonder, okay, so he comes over here from England. England must be really bad because
Yeah, you got to see the pigs over there, bro.
you came over
There's an ANSI rose that was used on the bulletin board.
Oh boy.
That's a good one actually. That's
Yeah.
actually someone made some effort on that one. You know.
So like was Denise different when you were courting?
Well, it goes back to the how like the catfish can pretend to be people, right? This goes back to you couldn't see each other,
Right.
and pictures were not sent for a long time. Like I actually mailed my photo,
Right.
and then she got the owner of the bulletin board to put the picture on, and it was all 2400 baud except for one 14.4 modem, you know, which if you want to do the math, is like 5 times less than 64K, which was the shitty internet back in when people had you know but I knew ways of kicking the one dude whoever was on the 14.4 modem got thrown off of that fucking shit, but I still had to watch her picture do this.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God,
know
I did.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Tom. When you get the picture and you're like, okay, head's okay. Okay, she's brunette. Oh, she's got eyes. Okay, nose is okay. Okay, here's where the shoulders go really, really, really wide. And there's only one chin. There's only one chin. Yeah, you can see it. Unlike me, you can see a neck. But and then it goes like this one girl I met when I came over in June. She sent me a picture of her face like this.
Yeah.
Facebook magic. They call it Facebook magic now. You know how you hold the camera like this so you don't look fat.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was 485. That girl.
Jesus.
Yes, absolutely true. So that wasn't.
I remember.
And because I wouldn't bang her. Her friend tried to steal my money out of the car. The first day I was in America, they tried to steal all my shit out of the rental car. Yeah, true story.
So
can you
like,
imagine that your first day in America, you drove, and this was in Ithaca, New York. Up by Cologne. What is that university up there? Begins with C. Whatever.
well, Colgate,
No, big one. One of the big
Columbia,
ones. Yeah, no, fuck.
Ithaca.
Shit. By Ithaca. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, can you imagine? Oh yeah, and I took what looked like the most direct route from JFK Airport up there.
Syracuse.
No, hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up now. But I looked on the map and
I just remember hitting the return button to download the picture, and then I'd be like, okay, I can go get some groceries, run downtown, do a few things.
Cornell.
Yeah.
Cornell University.
Cornell.
So,
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's funny because I'd never driven in America until that June. And my friend came over and he met someone in Brooklyn, which is right by, JFK Airport. And dude, by the time I fucking figured my way out of that place, I could drive on the right. No problem. No problem. But I took what looked like the easiest road because there was no turn-ins. So this is when you have books. Remember when you have map books?
Yeah, it's a Rand McNally, what they call it. There was a specific name for it.
I know what you're talking about. Like it was not pocket something, but yeah.
No, it was God damn it. Anyway.
But yeah, so I took Route 17, which looked like a brilliant idea. And it took 6.5 hours, where if I'd have gone up the expressway, it would have been 2.5 hours. But I didn't want to make that one turn in.
You got to see America. I'm just wondering, given my knowledge of your and Denise's relationship now, where a improperly installed roll of toilet paper can result in World War III. I'm just wondering what it was like at the start.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, the first day I met her, I had to hide in a shower while her ex-husband showed up to pick up the kids. Oh no, pick them up. And you know you're in there. You know, like it's been in the movies 100 times. But yeah, have you actually been in a shower hoping that the ex-husband doesn't come take a shit sitting right next to you?
No, I've never had that
No,
happen.
but it's been in the movies. Yeah, so that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
English always take longer. I don't even
yeah,
know what that means.
yeah. I don't know. Most
Yeah.
women I've met want me to take longer. You know?
It's interesting to me because, I've talked to a lot of people that know you and Denise and if everyone's amazed that you're still together. And I'm like, well, they clearly.
It's easy. You do stand up 6 nights a week.
But you
And
guys.
you know, it's working even better now. Let me tell you what's going on now. So, we had our 4th grandkid, 5th one's on the way, by the way. And my wife,
You've been busy.
yeah, no, well, not me.
Oh,
I mean,
sorry.
you know, we're not that close of a family.
You're not doing that anymore.
Fingering, yes, no pregnancy, right? Yeah, man. You know,
That's what we're talking about. That's what the people pay their money for. Are you not entertained?
But anyway, yeah. So Lauren, her daughter, lives 8 miles away. So now my wife babysits 4 or 5 days a week. So she gets in at 7, goes to bed at 9, and gets up at 6 and goes back. So the interactions are much smaller now. So the relationship is fucking.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You're not a boomer. You're a Gen X, right?
No, does he mean boomer sizing?
Or boomer sooner.
Yeah, I don't know.
Killman says it's called the pill.
Yeah, Gil, you don't have to use the pill when they're 12. Just want to clear that up.
Yeah, that and if you can't get certain girls to take it, you just put gravy or some sugar on it.
You know how disappointing it is to go back to your wife and have to pull out.
No. Not with your wife specifically.
Yeah.
But
Tom, nearly every porn star you've dated is now dead, right? So I'm thinking there's a good number of them that are fucking dead.
Yeah, there's a good. I don't know if she's dead or not. I think she is. The one. I'm not joking. The one that I dated for a long time. I think I did read a couple of years ago that she had died. But
is that when you came back from burying her and you're looking on fucking Newsmax? I wonder if they found the body yet.
Yes, I had an alert set up.
Yeah, and, that's how everyone gets caught, right? They get caught and they come home and they're like, they've got a Google alert that says, buried in, and then the exact fucking area that they buried the body.
Buried in refrigerator, found in desert. She was interesting because she had like a normal porn star name, and then her real name, her actual name, was like Zorinya or something like that, which I never called her, and she was obviously the wife. And you
just called her Anal Jane, right? With some respect. So.
I just called.
Wait, do we have a girl in the chat now? This is going to change.
Oh no, this is not a girl.
Oh,
this is a guy.
Oh, okay.
He used to be a bodybuilder.
No, Julian, I'm not from that far north of England. If you think you can't understand me, go north.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that!
I just watched a great TV show that's from Ireland. It's like an Irish Sopranos called Kin, and it's so great. And it's Sopranos, and they use words in there that more often than I've ever used them, which is a real woo.
I'm trying to think.
It's like Train Spotting. Remember Train Spotting? How that was?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There was a show out of Ireland that was about like a lot of it involved a news station. And
the Dead Donkey?
No,
that was a news station, I think.
Maybe that's I saw it. There's a channel you might know of it called MHZ World.
No idea.
It has all like the best TV shows in the world. So there's a couple Italian shows, a couple German shows, a couple this, a couple that. And the one from Ireland would go back and forth from Gaelic to English.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. This is all in English, the one I watched.
Oh, Jesus. And
Yeah, I don't know. I have enough trouble watching 90 Day Fiance when they have to put the subtitles up, you know?
Now, is there a new substitute show for Live PD? Is
Yeah,
there like
it's the same thing. It's on Patrol Live. It's just on a different channel.
Oh, okay. So you're happy again.
Yeah, I love that show. That is literally the best show on TV. And actually, one of my friends is the fill-in host when Dan Abrams is not doing it. Matt Eisman is the fill-in host, and he's a really good friend of mine. He met me when I was doing O&A, and how crazy is it that the guy that introduces Arnold Schwarzenegger and goes around the world as his host for his charity runs is a No Filter Paul fan? How fucking bizarre is that?
I mean, that's beautiful.
You know, but yes, so I got a connection there. So the next big fucking challenge is to get me on that show, right? Just saying, that's
Well, you're the one that showed me the clip with the baby.
Oh, the dude that fucking jumped out of his car with his kid by one arm doing this. You can find that on YouTube. It's episode 50 of series 1 of Live PD.
Oh,
I remember that. But yeah, it was pretty fucking crazy.
Clayton Combs would like a Pervitine plug. When you're having a rough day in the Reichstag and you need a little pep, there's nothing like Pervitine. Yes, methamphetamine in a much nicer container. Pervitine, sponsor of the Tom Gully Show.
What is Pervitine? That just sounds like fucking perving over a teen.
Well,
did anyone think of that when they came up with that name? Let's do something that makes us sound like child rapists. Okay, well, Pervitine.
It's German, and during prior to World War II, the Germans released over-the-counter amphetamine to the population to keep them working briskly in the trains on time. And then when the war started, they would give it to Luftwaffe officers and tank commanders so they could stay up all night and keep.
Remember when they had like a cough syrup in England in like the 1800s, where it was actually pretty much cocaine.
Coca-Cola. The Coca in Coca-Cola is cocaine. When that product first began, it was like the drink that picks you up. Well, hell yeah, it'll pick you up. And it was also green when it started, but Pervitine also sometimes had cocaine in it. So it was the German armies, but they just would sell it over the counter to people. And that's one of the problems they had was during the end of the war, there was such a huge demand because they created all these meth addicts that the soldiers and the population weren't feeling too good because they couldn't get their meth anymore. And that's, the blitzkrieg at the beginning. Yeah, I would take some more Pervitine. We'd be fine for another 3 days. They didn't have that anymore. So that's why we started kicking their ass. But
that'll do it. Back when they didn't care what was in medication.
Yes. Oh, look at this. Obviously, an O&A fan. Ramon. Let's see here. Pervitine.
R.I.P. Steve C. Steve C. was one of the producers of the show, and the XM Sirius Syrup instantaneously fired him one day for no reason. Some people say Opie was involved. Even he says that's not true. Well, he said. And then he moved to Scranton, Pennsylvania, and then I guess some job failures over there, and the next thing you know, he's flying in the wind. So he's gone. But he did all the sound bites and production on the show.
Didn't he have some health problems anyway or something?
Well, when he was first on the show back when he was on NEW, he was fucking huge. He had the weight loss surgery.
Let's see, Paul. If you had a gay monkey on your back, would you beat it off or leave it alone?
Yeah, it's always funnier when you don't start the joke while you're actually typing, which is fucking. If you beat it off or leave it what?
Well,
yes, yeah. I would beat it off. I've been to Patterson, New Jersey. I've seen that done.
Well, not to get into the dirty details unless you want to, but you hold a record regarding that I've never heard eclipsed. So.
Oh, yeah. You know what I found out quite recently from someone that you can get any record you want in the Guinness Book of Records for a $1,500 fee.
We should get that
I should start a GoFundMe. If all these guys will give $1,
yeah,
it only take fucking 5 years to get the money.
Yeah, who cares? I don't. When I do that to my own, if I would say that they would say I was really mean, and then they wouldn't come back to the show for 3 or 4 days. So I'm glad you're here to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool that you're doing the show in a kid's Xbox gaming chair. That's pretty cool that you found one of those.
Adrienne Curry uses one, and I would say we're friendly. I'm just chatting in her little chat room and stuff. We know a lot of same people, and I was like, is that a good chair? Is it really comfortable? And she said yes. And I thought, well, gamers have really comfortable chairs. They have to. They're in them all the time.
I hate the red stripes though. Don't you hate the colors on it?
I don't really care about the colors.
You need to get a different kind of mic thing as well, because it just wipes out.
I know it comes in and out, and it depends on if I sit here, it's fine. But I don't.
Terry, I would definitely beat it off.
So he said he would beat it off. I think he just likes hearing you say that, so he keeps asking.
A soundbite.
Say it again, but slower.
Yeah.
This chair is terrible. I'm getting another one. A different chair, because it's just. I'm 6'5". My ass can't be on the edge of a ledge the entire time I'm working here. So that's how you got your first radio job. Your ass was on a ledge.
Well,
I don't work interest. I mean, I left my. I don't think you even know about the whole saga at KRLD, but yeah.
Well, I know Derek Rutherford's version.
Well, that was how long ago? God damn it! Just for that, I'm going to play my Derek Rell. I do have it here.
What is he doing now? I didn't pay no attention to him for like a couple of years, and now is he doing like some private investigation charity? Like he's trying to be one of those, you know, we rescue kids, we catch the pedophiles type things, because he was saying that he was going to drive to some organizational meeting, and I'm just sitting there going, I just came back to that sentence, and I have no idea what that means. I have no idea what he's doing. Is he one of those pedo catchers or something that you see on YouTube? No idea. He can never be a pedo catcher because he can never run that fast. Well, like, I don't know that he might be able to run fast enough for some of the slower ones, but they would see the shadow, you know, blocking out the sun before they would be like, what the hell's going on? The one kid that got caught forgot he had his cheeseburger hanging out the back of his pants. I think this is it. It's only like a minute long. I can play it. Hold on here. I'll go ahead and play it. So Paul used to have a show. This guy followed me all over the internet, and you don't even hear me talking. This is just Derek and his responses, his crazy, conflicting responses. It's a minute and a half. Here you go. Mm-hmm.
Tom, you can talk all that shit, but dude, you called my show and we loved you as a caller. You were the best in the fucking chat room. I'll leave you alone though, and I won't talk about you anymore. I promise. Never had a problem with you. I actually do. I listened to all of your shows until recently. I think you blocked me where I can't reach them, but I enjoy your show. I think you're funny as shit. I do not control the people that listen to my show that have taken the name, this whole Tom Goley thing, and run with it. Like I told them, that's why I made that video. I was like, shut the fuck up. Tom doesn't want us to talk about him, so I'm not going to say Tom's name anymore. And I made that. And then Alex, my co-host, went on there and talking, oh, fuck Tom. And I was like, dude, go fuck off, man. I was like, I don't care, dude. I was like, I'm not going to say Tom's fucking name anymore because he doesn't want me to say it. I really, honestly, truly have nothing but respect for you, dude. I think you're good at what you do. And you actually have a job doing this. I do this for free in my fucking spare bedroom. Like I get that you're kind of above me, man. So I don't know, man.
You did a specific podcast on your website about his show. specifically. And
No.
he brought that up. It was not a long one. It was a little side one. Trust me, you did.
You read shitty copy for FM radio, dude. Like, anyway, Tom, you can hate me, dude. I don't hate you. That's fine, dude. But I won't say your name anymore. I won't waste any more of your guys' time, and I'll just keep doing my thing.
Yeah.
Tom, you can talk.
Anyway, that's our good friend Derek Relaford.
Was that on my show? Because I think it was, because I thought I heard me laughing.
Yes, no, that was definitely on your show. 100. It was 100. That was 100% on.
Quick impression of Derek Rutherford. Tom, I'm never going to mention Tom again, because Tom is not going to be mentioned again on this show, because Tom.
Here's another one. Tom, man, I think you're funny and shit, man. I listen to all your shows. You're the greatest. I mean, I love the way you do your stuff. You're a great call. I never called into his show, by the way. I don't know where he got that. You're great in the chat room. We all love you. I get it that you're above me at this. I mean, I do this shit in my spare bedroom. I really like you. I generally do. I like you. You read shitty copy on FM radio. You fucking suck. Did
you ever? No one's gonna know these names, but Jonesy and James Mack going back at each other. I don't know if you remember. It was on Hodges' show, but Jonesy was talking shit about this comedian James Mack, about him being shit, and then we got James Mack to come to Hodges' podcast, and Jonesy called in and apologized, and then 2 seconds later told him he was a cunt and hung up, and then he called back and apologized, and then called him an asshole and hung up. But he wasn't doing it. It wasn't a plan, because that bit would be funny if it was intentional.
Yeah.
You know, were you on my show the first day we met Jonesy when he kicked his girlfriend's front door in?
I was, and that
the first time we met Brendan Jones, who incidentally is banned from comedy right now by his girlfriend. But yeah, we had a guy call in who was a friend of some people we knew, and while he was on the phone, he kicked in his girlfriend's front door because she locked him out live on the air.
Well, the door.
And that was the start of a roller coaster of, you know what I mean? Jesus.
Yeah. Well, he was still there or something, and she wanted him out, and he said, "I'm not leaving." And that was crazy. Yeah, he had actually, and it was like a $4,000 bill to get the door replaced or something. Because that chick,
but the funny thing was, she kept paying that shit even when he did crap like that.
Yeah, and she was a high-end girl. I mean, I think she's either married or seriously dating a guy now and traveling the world.
No idea.
She seems really nice. We're Facebook friends. But the thing I remember about it was...
Shit, I don't even know if I can't remember her first name.
Diane.
Okay. I have to look and see if
she's... This is the greatest. We're talking to her, and this guy who is overweight, unemployed, unmotivated, kind of a jerk. And why would you keep paying the rent and letting him stay there? And then she revealed that this overweight, not attractive, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I know where, yeah.
Apparently had some sort of dark arts level oral skills.
He was a ninja.
Yeah, he was some sort of a ninja. Whenever I misspeak, I just tell people I was using Cockney Rising Plan. This is like Tom is guest starring on EastEnders.
Yeah, I don't have a friend by that name, so I don't think I'm friends with her. I mean, maybe I'm stupid.
This is like Tom's guest starring on. I think he's saying it's like I'm a guest on EastEnders.
Yeah.
So
actually, funny story is I used to do the website for the USA newspaper, fan newspaper of EastEnders called the Walford Gazette, and I actually got to be on the set of EastEnders on 3 or 4 times, which is kind of cool. If you have any idea what I'm talking about,
I do. EastEnders, one of the longest running shows in Great Britain, along with Coronation Street.
Yeah, Coronation Street's like 15, 20 years more though.
Yeah, but you have an association of some kind with one of those shows. Or perhaps it's your wife that has the association.
Yeah, she definitely has an association. She has an association with looks exactly like your microphone.
Did you know that was happening, or did you find out later? I have to think you found out later.
I found out later.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
And of course, if you always say, I swear to God, I knew, and I should have walked up. You know what I mean? But you didn't. Yeah, Julian, I used to like EastEnders too. I liked it when I was getting bootleg VHS tapes sent over. But
I'll
I
tell
can't
you
remember.
this.
I don't know what year it was, but I just suddenly lost interest. I have every episode, from then till now. I'm on a site that gets every episode.
I,
So if I actually wanted to sit and watch it, but they're on like 4 or 5 days a week now. So how the fuck do you catch that up? I think it's on BritBox. I think he sent us. It's on BritBox. But I don't have BritBox. So
is there a thing like, because I've never been in that position where, like, if that had happened with just a regular schlub off the street, you'd be really mad. But since it was a celebrity, you're like, okay, I'm super pissed. But all right,
but there's a couple other factors you have to put into the mix.
I always.
Yeah, like persuasion. Family history. You know.
Breath mints.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
How they came to England in the first place.
That didn't happen in England.
We kept the good ones. No, anyway.
Okay. Do me a favor. Tell God, you sent me a clip, and I swear to God, because you sent me a clip. What do you think of this? And I immediately went, that is the coolest thing. That was the perfect thing to do. You did a set. It was one joke, and you walked the fuck off the stage. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I can't remember the whole thing. It's like one line too.
Yes. You'll remember it. It has to do with a very bad thing that happened in the 1940s. And you were conjecting as to what would happen if you were two different racial groups at the same time.
I know. Yeah. I don't think we can repeat that.
Okay. We'll leave that off.
The punchline was you'd have to sit at the back of the oven.
And so
make your own joke up.
Yeah. Hey, you know how they have those painting places that people come in and drink wine and they paint? We should start one for comedy. And we just leave the punchlines laying on the chairs, and one of them says, "Find my car keys and we'll drive."
Oh, they did that. We did that on O&A. You don't remember that bit? They decided that they were they were starting to get rules on NEW. This is way before I was involved, but they were starting to get rules, for certain topics, and so they did 45 minutes of just punchlines, and it was like, put Velcro on the ceiling.
Yeah.
Hang one in the front yard.
Find my car keys and we'll drive out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was literally 45 minutes of punchlines. It was so great. It wasn't just that one topic, it was every topic,
Love the days of receiving bootlegged English music sent over.
Terry's definitely on the right footpath, but not quite. Is that? Yeah, exactly. He's close, but not.
Yeah,
I used to get bootleg tapes of an Australian soap opera called Neighbours as well. Because we again, just like America had EastEnders that was so far behind because they were only showing 2 episodes a week, when in England they were showing 4. So every day they got further apart. We were getting this show called Neighbours, and in Australia it was 4 years ahead. So I was getting boxes of VHS tapes. I'm sending tapes of this, like Terry said he was doing it with music. I was doing it with bootleg horror movies because a lot of movies were banned in England. The stupid horror movies, the video nasties, they call them.
Nasties, yes.
So we were trading videos, all around the world, but it would take, fucking weeks to get the box.
Oh, it'd be months.
It's not like now where you can go online and go, okay, it's going to be here in 2 days.
Plus, you had to transfer the NTSC PAL.
Well, Australia was PAL, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I bought a box. It was 600 something pounds. That you'd hook a English VCR and an American VCR, and you could go either way. And then when I was doing the EastEnders thing, I started advertising in there for $10, you send me a tape and I'll convert it for you. You send me a blank tape and a tape. So that thing paid for itself pretty damn quickly.
Right. Well,
But
I know there was a show from Australia that was syndicated over here for a while, and there for a while was a website that had every episode. I don't
prison was it, I'm trying to think what it could have been. It could have been
Oh no, I can tell you. I can tell you what it was.
because on Neighbors and
Prison-
Home and Away were the two big soaps, and then Prisoner Cell Block H was
That's one.
Yeah.
Prisoner Cell Block H, which later became a show called Wentworth.
Did
But
it?
it was like Prisoner Cell Block H was like a video regular soap opera, everyday soap
We
opera.
got that in England. We did get that.
Wentworth was
3 in the morning. It was on 3 in the morning on a weekend. Just like
Yeah.
I don't know how many episodes a week they were banging out, but we were getting just one a week.
I just loved it because it taught me how to say, "You lousy screw." Every episode,
I thought it was
Johnson gets
Australian. That sounded very British.
"You lousy screw." It was a great show.
Back when lesbians on TV looked like real lesbians.
They looked like
Then every lesbian on TV is in America, especially, is lipstick lesbians because they don't all look like that.
no. Well, you're American now, so that question's kind of not valid.
As a Brit, do you give any shits about U.S. politics? Well, apparently the whole of England hates Trump. I didn't know it was that bad until I went back there on vacation and they were having marches. I'm like, I don't know. It marches and demos or whatever you want to call them are weird to me because I don't understand how some dude waving a flag outside of a building somewhere is going to stop a war somewhere else.
I don't
And
understand.
I have someone who went to Rutgers, which is the biggest university in Jersey, and they said it turned out that Rutgers was sending money to one of the sides in some way. And I'm like, all right, I get it now. That's why you're doing it here.
I don't get it at all.
I don't understand how someone in fucking Dallas putting a sign up is going to Tom Gully put a sign up. Let's here you go. You can have Gaza.
Well,
thanks, Tom.
I get it. I get it if it's somewhat.
It's got to be relevant. The business or whatever you're outside has to be somewhat relevant to it.
Well, up to a certain level of size of town, I get it because it's very local and it's very binding. And if you say, "Oh gosh, these people are local town," but if I'm looking out of the White House and I'm president of a country with 336 million people, and I don't care what side of the aisle it is, and I see 10,000 people, I'm going, okay, that's 0.0001% of the population. I'm sorry that they're upset, but I can't stop down every time people show up here.
Yeah.
And then there's also that, what did it do? If all of you guys had gotten together and done another thing, that might have had an effect, but just getting together and going, hell no, we won't go. Or
Kim is saying they're trying to get press coverage, but for what?
so
They're getting press coverage that they stood outside of a homeless shelter
with
signs that say Ukraine should do this or Russia should do this. And I'm not going to take sides on it. I don't think people should be getting killed over any of this bullshit. But I mean, I don't think any press coverage is going to affect anything that someone in Ukraine does. You know what I mean? How much press coverage in America of a demo could you get? Demonstrate, and then there's so many. We should stop doing this over here.
Yeah, that's like a Vietnam War era.
I don't understand.
That's
Terry called England Stand, which is pretty funny. There's a British movie called East is East, where they live in Bradford, but when the camera pans to the state, the sign that says "Welcome to Bradford," it says Bradistan instead of Bradford. It just always makes me laugh because there's a lot of Indian and Pakistani people in England, more from people from other countries now, especially when we were in fucking Europe. That thing blew everything up.
Well, what about Leeds? Or as we say, Leeds. Welcome to Leeds.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you like to try a curry or a vindaloo?
When I was in my 20s working over there, every town we worked in, there was a St. Mary's Road, and that's where all the Indian or Pakistani people lived. They didn't live on any other street. It was always St. Mary's Road. I have no idea why, but it literally was every fucking city we went to. Where do they live? Oh, St. Mary's Road. That's kind of like over here, you know, Martin Luther King Boulevard, you know, and fucking Rosa Parks this and fucking,
Yeah.
you
Do
know.
you think you'll ever go back to live there for good?
No, because I have kids, grandkids here. I mean,
At the end,
it would be cool to retire and do like a 50-50 type thing. You know,
I'll
it'd be
ask.
cool to have a house there because you could take the kids over there.
Yeah.
But my old lady fucking sold the house now, so there's no house, which
Over
sucks.
there.
Yeah, so she's
Oh,
in like a managed apartment kind of thing.
Oh, I gotcha.
Her friend pushed her into, told her because she fell, you know, she fell a few times because she's like in her, oh my god, she's fucking gonna be 88 right now. She's 88 this year, just gone. So yeah, she's in a home, not a home, but you know what I mean. She's in a apartment in a building where there's a warden and a button you can push and all that kind of shit. You know.
That
So
sounds
yeah,
great.
because I always thought that I was gonna get the house, and then I'm sitting there going, would I sell the house or would I rather keep it? You know, do you keep a house that you're only going to use 3 weeks a year? I mean, you know, whatever. You know, but you grew up in the house, right? You never want to you don't want your parents to get rid of the fucking house you grew up in. But now it's gone. So you know, now when everything goes down, I got a room I got to go in instead of a house. And so you know, I already know everything that's in there. You know, and of course, me and my mom have been getting along way better than we ever did. Because I guess she's got a, you know, what do you call it? You're gonna die soon, so shit changes in your head. I don't know, whatever it is, you know. But she's like, yeah, so I got the will changed and everything's good now. She asked for my daughter's address and all this stuff. I'm like, that's cool. And then the fucking best thing you can ever hear when you're talking about inheritance, yeah, so it's gonna be for the family and some charities. Fuck.
I tell you,
You don't want to hear that some of your money's going to fucking charity.
well, that, and it's like you could Airbnb the thing the rest of the year. You know, make a little when you're
Yeah,
not.
I mean, yeah, you could, but it's gone anyway. So you know, whatever.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to retire and go at India once I convince her to divorce me.
You don't have to, you haven't got a divorce, so you just take her over there, tell the natives that she did something wrong, and they'll stone her to death.
Yeah. And by the way, didn't your wife? She's great. We get along. Brilliant. You know. But one time, what was that thing she was having a charity for?
Well, she does helping the poor people at Christmas thing, right?
I think so. I think that might have been it. So I was on the show. She mentioned I forget what the name of it is, you know, Dollars for Denise or whatever it is. And I went ahead and donated. I don't know, it was $25, $50, whatever. It wasn't the end of the world, but I did donate. And then like 3 fucking weeks later, she's unfriended me.
It was always the threat, though, wasn't it? If you don't do what she says, I'm gonna unfriend you, and then I'll be like, "Fuck." You want to know a secret?
Yeah.
I haven't been friends with her on Facebook in fucking 5 years. I used to when we were doing the podcast back in the day, I used to get pissed off about it, and I'd be like, if you want me to do this, you're gonna fucking friend me. I don't want people to see we're not fucking friends. And then I had a fucking ding
sock account.
I'm not a friend. Great.
Well, yeah, and then she blocked.
And she still has people, and she still has my kid, especially. I know it's my kid, even though she says it's not. She has my kid. Fucking. I'll get a message. You wrote this, and I'm like, "Well, you couldn't have seen it." So someone fucking dobbed me in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, you were doxxed. But after she did all that, without a word, and I didn't do anything. I was being real nice. I came on your show. And we're talking, and I'm not really saying much to her. And finally, she's like, "Well, what's wrong with you?" And I went, "You begged and begged and begged and begged for money for your little organization." And
someone just asked me if I met you on her charity. No, she got bent. Right? She got pissed off when the show started to turn more to comedy because I was starting comedy.
Yeah.
You know, and it was comedian talk and talking about going to stand up and all. That's when, before that, when we were interviewing people, she was all in, right? And then
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh, fuck it, I don't want to." Just five of you talking about the show you went to last night. Who cares? You know.
Well,
That's when the wheels fell off. That was when the wheels fell off, right there.
I just went, I give you money for your thing and you block me or unfriend me and all. And now I can't. What the hell? What's wrong with you? Jesus.
You got lucky, Tom. Just fucking look at it that way.
And then she gave me her typical East Coast chick, heartless, soulless. Is there a human behind the faceplate response of, well, I was just mad at everybody. So I just did nothing personal.
She do that too. She'd unfriend all my friends.
Yeah.
But I'd always know one that she missed. And I just message them, hey, can you see what the fuck she wrote about this?
Yeah,
and she'd write that. You know how when they write that passive aggressive shit, but they don't put your name, but everyone reading it knows exactly who they're talking about and what the fuck is. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he ever treats me like this, I get that fucking and then I can't believe people in the world don't see how charitable and great I am, and oh my. Tom Gully gave me $25. He's not worthy of being my friend. If he'd have sent me 75, I would have been his friend for another 2.5 weeks. Fuck off.
It wasn't even that. It was
No, you got put in with a group.
Yeah,
the on-off group.
Yes, exactly.
But you know what's funny is all the people she unfriended, not one of them even bothered to friend her back later.
Oh, I might.
None of them care.
I don't know.
Including me.
But I do like Denise. She's fun. She's funny. Did that sound sincere enough?
You got another $1. Wow, we're really fucking killing it.
We are cranking.
So what is that? $2 now?
2, yes. And Facebook will take. YouTube will take 30% of that. So
do they really?
Then there's the taxes. It's really all.
They send you a tax form, so you end up $1 left.
I don't know what they do. This is my first for my friend. Thanks, Terry. It never gets old, that $1 donation. Anyway, but she's usually fun and whatever, and hopefully that sounded sincere enough. So the next time I talk to her, if ever, she won't go, I heard you on Paul's thing, and I thought you were an asshole.
I make a point of not telling her the shows I go on.
She wouldn't care anyway.
No, but she'd like someone to watch it and report back.
I gotcha. And she's got a SWAT team of those people.
Yeah. So if you're listening, can you vacuum upstairs, please? Thank you.
The number of times, sometimes you're just sitting there and you're going, look, if you're going to draw the I'm getting a divorce gun, first of all, you notice that's when he stops objecting to what you're saying. Second of all,
dude, you weren't part of it. I want to say it was in the first 10 episodes of the podcast, which I have to go through those episodes and put some back up because I took them all down because I knew that there was so many shit and things in those that we couldn't say. But I think it was the 647 episode. She got so shit-faced she passed out in the hall and was puking in a garbage can.
I've seen that one. That was the show where you had another couple on, right? And you were all doing a drinking thing?
Yes.
Yeah. And then there's episode 24 that we will never speak of.
Yeah. There's someone on Twitter that messages me once every 6 months offering to buy that episode.
Well, I haven't talked about it in a long time, but I know right after I found out about it, I think I told somebody about it. I remember distinctly using the words, look, there's things in your life that you think in your head, but you would never repeat to anybody or speak aloud. And then you certainly wouldn't say them to your wife or your husband. I mean, these are dark in a box in the back of your head. Most people don't even have those kind of thoughts, but if you do, you keep it. These two, oh no, they took the box out, dumped it on the floor, rolled around in it, threw the stuff at each other. It was, yeah, but there was plenty of shows on that show that you had that were that crazy. I mean, your wife's knee goes out, and by the way, it went out again, didn't it? The other knee?
Yeah, when I was having sex.
Well, when the both of you were having sex,
Well,
hopefully.
I wasn't home. I just told her about it.
I called her and told her.
I'm pretty sure that video is on YouTube still. The whole hospital thing. I want to say it is.
I haven't looked for it in a long time, but
I mean, they still have everything. It's still on YouTube. It's just private.
privated, yeah.
Until I go through them all.
Yeah.
I just can't sit through 4 hours times 300. But all the interviews we did are up. All the honey G one is online.
What's coming up? What's next? You got shows booked into the new year, or?
Yes. Well, I don't know if anyone's in the area.
We got people on the East Coast. Terry Nees in Maryland. We got people all over. Your wife has a jelly leg. That's a U.S. sports term for a knee that's not very good. Jelly leg. But you're all over, I'm sure. I'm trying to think of some more questions to ask you. What's the grossest thing you've ever done?
My wife.
Is there something that you said, oh, yeah, that's bad?
I'm just looking at this YouTube clip and I'm trying to figure out how the fuck do you know if it's private or not? It's not obvious.
You'd have to go into your YouTube studio, probably.
I gotta do that. Hold on. I want to see if this knee one is public, just for shits and giggles. Yeah. So next Thursday I have a show in Forked River, New Jersey, which no one cares. And then I have a bunch. Let me fucking.
Terry Nees in Pennsylvania. I don't know where. Probably the Amish country. Somewhere where you can, get close with livestock and they don't say nothing.
Right.
Yeah. It's the good thing about there. Hey, have you closed the pool down for the year? I have to think it's been closed for a while.
Yes.
Now is that now that you got more grandkids and stuff?
So Denise dislocates her knee. Is public. It's called Denise dislocates her knee live. 911.
Here, you want me to? Should I bring it up?
It's 34 minutes of it.
Do I need to bring it up on screen or?
I'm gonna put. Hold on.
Oh, it was private chat. Okay. Let's see here. I bet you I can bring that sucker up right now. Oh,
I wonder how much of the what was the guy's name that we were interviewing?
Kurt Metzger.
Kurt Metzger.
Let's see here. Good old Kurt Metzger. Let me share the screen real quick, and
I don't know where it starts.
I don't either. We'll just show different parts of it and scan through it. Probably.
You're definitely going to see EMS in there picking her up.
We'll get that. Let's see here. Let's make this big. And here we go.
I want to hang up on Kurt real quick. All right. So, Big A, you still there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So,
wow.
So in the middle of.
By the way, you can hear, or you could hear at the beginning of that, Denise screaming in the background that she dislocated her knee. And I'm sure you'll hear more of it.
That was a good call, but in the middle of that call, where the fuck's the delete key on this thing? Come on, I don't. Yeah, so in the middle of that call, Denise dislocated her knee.
What?
She dislocated her knee replacement, and her knee is all fucked up now. And
oh my God.
I was trying to call 911 while we were on the phone.
Okay. You won't hang up.
All right, here we go. Hold on. Let's do this.
Let's make a fucking show of this. You're a fucking asshole.
All right, it's not my
asshole.
All right, be quiet. What hospital is she talking about? The SOS, right? All right, so here we go. We're gonna do.
You're an asshole.
I should do it through the fucking.
You're
phone.
a fucking asshole.
All right, be quiet. I'm not gonna.
This is not funny. I dislocated a fucking.
Yes,
knee.
hi. My wife's knee has dislocated itself. She just had a knee replacement a couple of months ago, and now her knee looks all screwed up.
Here comes the video. Any second now, we'll get the video.
My name is Paul. Her husband, Paul Field. Field, F-I-E-L-D. She thinks she's in shock more than she's in pain, but her friend who works for is an EMT, and she says she thinks she's more likely in shock.
Paul, her suffering strangely doesn't bother him a bit. She thinks she's got a shock more than anything. I mean, she's in pain, but it's not my problem.
I'm dizzy and
She's
faint.
dizzy and faint. No, she can't even stand up. No. If you look at her knee, it looks like the bottom half of her leg below the knee is stepped back like half an inch. It's really kind of weird.
Here, let's get to the video.
Isn't there a bit where I move the camera under the table at some point?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Let me see here. Oh, there we go.
No, she's staying where she is. We're upstairs.
Yeah,
so you know,
it's
but
gross.
I'll go downstairs and.
They're right there.
Because it's back. Hold on, let me move this up so you guys can see.
Oh boy. Yeah. Bam. Ow. Owie kazowie. Look at that thing.
You don't get much for your fucking money in this town. No, I don't know if you can see it yet, but if you look at her left. Someone's door. Oh, I gotta go downstairs.
Oh, you better get that dog out of the way so it doesn't bite.
Hold on.
If you skip forward, you'll see the EMTs come in, right?
Paul, a concerned taxpayer. Let's see. I love how you get all these angles. Is that the EMT or is that just the daughter?
So you look, this leg, you see how it's like that? Yeah. This leg here, look. It's like it's. We're still on the air here? Yeah.
No. Are we?
Kill it. You can say hello if you want. She's on the camera.
There he is.
So, I didn't know if you were listening and you heard that, and that's why you were calling.
No, I didn't. I can't. I can't. I couldn't catch up to the show. Is what I was saying to you. You go to dysfunctionalpodcast.com and you try to. It doesn't. It's not like how you had it on the other. The other web.
Yeah. Hold on. The ambulance people are here. Hold on.
Okay.
The ambulance people are here. Are you just unusually cool under fire, or? Because, man, this is hilarious how calm, and you're just doing the show, and she's over there. Oh, I think my leg, and I did this to
Okay,
it.
so being around O&A, you learn what is good radio. And if you freak out, it's not going to work out. Just let everything around you freak out.
Yeah.
I mean, think about some of the stuff when they did it. They just sit and let shit happen. They didn't even fucking,
Right. I really don't care about any human on earth. So my choices are easy. I wouldn't have to. Well, I guess given your relationship, maybe we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You should be able to whip it forward to them, put her in the chair and everything.
Okay, let's do that.
My knee is out of place.
My knee. Who cares?
Oh, she's in the hospital now.
I'll put her in the hospital.
Oh, no, the bit before is the ambulance is outside too.
No, you're not. You touch it, I'll break your nose. This is just for us.
Let's just see what's here.
Hey, good luck, Paul.
All right. Peace out, brothers.
Oh, she's gone. Okay.
Boy said feel better. This woman will do anything for attention. Bye, Dave. You'll think it's funny tomorrow when you're all good.
She flipped you off, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Well, let me know what you're doing or whatever.
Terry says Tom cares about his Jag.
Terry says what?
Tom cares about his Jaguar. Didn't you get rid of that?
I got another one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Same one.
Oh, no, that other one was just too big. I think it's the
Things you've never heard a girl say to you.
No, they normally can't speak with something in their mouth.
Yeah.
That was the highest end jag you could get, and I liked it. It was great. I loved it, but it was just so parking 17 feet long, a big car. So I got an S type, and love it. Absolutely love it. And I
just got a Genesis. I finally destroyed my last one.
Well, you were putting miles on that pretty severely.
At 259,000, it needed a steering pump. That was literally the only thing wrong with it.
It says,
and then it went downhill real fast.
Well, that's
I broke my knee, man. Yeah, that's the Bob Kelly.
Yeah.
On the Dane Cook show.
My knee, man.
Yep.
Hold my hand. Hold my hand. Imagine taking that knee to the moose knuckle. Hey, Paul doesn't have to imagine.
Yeah.
Man. Paul's been there, planted the flag, got back down to base camp, the whole damn thing. Let's see here.
Yeah, come on, you should really be sorry.
I am sober, but I got something I can do. You been drinking too?
Yes.
I know, but
I'm trying to think if O&A ever ended with someone in the hospital. I think it has before. I think it has.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. The guy that Stern follower that Master Poe jumped on, I don't think he needed the hospital, but might have.
It's funny you say that because Kumia was talking about Master Poe the other day, and he was playing those clips. And they always denied that he got in the shit for that, but then Kumia said he got in the shit for it because he just disappeared one day.
Yeah, and
then it turned out that I don't know if this is true, but I was told that he didn't have any kind of licensing.
Yes, I heard the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they may have even said it, but I mean, he never had guns. He wasn't a gun guy, but he knew that guy could fold anybody up. You couldn't,
Well, and he also, I think, had a dojo or something. I heard he was. Oh God, he was just like after O&A, he was like just not doing anything. He was just staying in his dojo.
No, his dojo. Somebody burned it down.
Yeah,
well, they foreclosed it or something.
Exactly, until that thing was no longer available to him, and it's just like, where's he gone? And I know that Gen X, Danny,
Mm-hmm.
I heard he was bartending or something now, and he just pops up once in a while and still throwing shit at people. Opie and everybody.
Well, him and Kumia don't want anything to. Kumia doesn't want anything to do with him. They had a big falling out.
Well, yeah, Anthony helped him out, and he just turned into a huge.
Well, he was like trying to set Anthony up for some crazy legal bullshit.
Right.
That's
equals senior citizen type Jaguar.
They're not wrong.
I'm good with that. How do you top a show where somebody breaks a joint? You don't. Well, no. The next week, here's what happened. No. That show, and I know we really can't, the world we live in. Believe me, I did the same thing, Paul. I took down so many shows just on the off chance. And for me, it wasn't like I'm going to get canceled. It's just, do I want people in my profession seeing and hearing all that stuff?
Can you pull a website up on the screen?
I can. That's what's.
Oh, okay. So go to amaa.us.
Okay. Is this we gonna get porn bond here? Is that what's gonna happen?
No.
All right. I'm not gonna sign up. Where do I go? Oh, is this Master Poe here somewhere?
Yep. Now he's called Master Bob Rivera. But you could there's videos on here of him doing. Oh, look! If you scroll down on the right, there's a picture of him with a guy in a headlock in a circle where it says arrest on the right side. Yeah, they're right there. There you go.
There he is. Well, I'm glad he's. Well, let's see. Master Bob Rivera has used minimum force for maximum results when defending those on the streets.
He put me in one of those holds he's doing in that middle picture one time, and it was not fun.
Well,
And he wasn't even trying very hard. He just said, "Let me put you there." He was always like, Yes, Master Poe did get some of the more prominent listeners, hangers-on, groupies, whatever, to fund his dojo, and he also banged a few of their wives. But that's a whole nother story.
Well, but the thing about this is that hold in the center photo, that's a rear naked choke, and that
you can't do that softly.
Once you're in that, and you see it in MMA, people tap out immediately because you're going to sleep. You don't have to apply a lot of pressure, and it's inescapable. You've already got the person. So I see Master Bob Rivera trained police, military, security, and airline employees for free right after 9/11. Continues to train police and security firms in his arrest program.
Yeah, he missed the boat though, didn't he? If he'd have trained them before 9/11, it probably wouldn't have happened. Just saying.
Yeah. That's cows are already out.
Do you remember Opie's brother opened a restaurant called F.H. Riley's?
Oh yeah.
So the running joke was, because we caught Poe fucking in the parking lot with some chick one time. The F.H. stood for fuck here.
He still talks about that place.
Oh yeah. So Jay is mentioning the ID thing that Master Poe used to do, and what he used to do is, if the chick was attractive, he would misplace their driving licenses. And this part I didn't know. He would call him up and say, "I can drive to your house and bring you this driving license back if you'd like."
Yes, I can.
I knew the licenses. I heard the bits about him paying attention to certain people that came in.
Do you want to? Let's see what this is all about, real quick.
In my lifetime as a martial artist, I have been called into action by friends and family who lack self-control or discipline in themselves, and due to their aggressive nature, they acted without thought, and they placed myself and others in harm's way. However, I have also had the honor of protecting very important people, and it was my job to assess the danger and to defuse the situation without hesitation and not to cause unnecessary injury when it was not warranted. I am here to share my knowledge and experience to educate those who are in need of learning how to defend themselves and becoming more aware of their surroundings.
That is a free ad for Master Bob. My favorite part of that guy getting taken down was,
I just sent you a link to play.
Okay. My favorite part of that.
It's not porn. I'm not going to do that and get you kicked off YouTube. However funny that would be.
And well deserved.
Yeah.
The funniest part of that was once Poe had him down, Opie is this far from the guy's face. You see that? You like that? Okay, Opie, you're not exactly the one that took him down. Okay,
click on that link I just sent.
Okay, man. Jeez, come on, lighten up, Denise. Give me a second. I gotta share this particular screen. Stop it. Don't do that. All right, here we go. Let's share screen. Bing. Let's share that sucker. And all right, here we go. This is the actual fight.
Yeah, if you skip through the audio, you'll find the actual video. It's synced in.
Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, it's pretty soon. Actually, because they're nice. They're actually nice to him at first. They're letting him talk, and they're back and forth, and then that guy comes in and
punch you. Please have him say Subway. Please have him say Subway 10.
Where the hell did you find this? On the subway.
Really?
Hold it 1 second.
Subways.
Which line?
I seen him on the G. Again, I got this one on the E line.
The E line of the subway?
Yeah.
Wow.
So this now, how does this hang up?
I have one of those on the wall in the studio.
It's picked up. It's glue. What is it? It's a poster.
It's a big
It's a big sticker. It's a bit with
in the subway.
Where?
So their audience. In the subway. They hang up on the subway.
Oh.
Did it. XM.
Subway.
30,000. Your whole audience. This is Opie and Anthony's whole audience here. I just want to say, Howard Stern has a huge cock, and I love him.
All right. Good job. Keep talking.
Opie and Anthony are douchebags.
All right.
Yeah, beat me up. Let's go.
No, let him go. Let him go. What else?
All right, guys.
What else?
What do we got here? What do we got here?
Are you gonna, well, look at it, stupid. You see what we got here? It's called advertising for a radio show, sir.
What?
It's called ABC 92.3.
You look like a dope.
Remember where Howard used to be? And now there's about 100,000 people. About 100,000 people listening to him. Is this the best you got? Come on, man.
I'm not a stand-up.
Dude, no, I don't mean comedy, but where's just the like passion? An insult. You're going through the motions.
I gotta go to work right
You're going through the motions.
Why aren't? I know. And I don't really like these guys. They just steal a lot of shit from Howard. I don't really like.
Of course we do. Steal a lot of shit, like his radio stations.
His radio station.
Now he sits there. Now, that did it. There you go, asshole. Have a nice one getting your ass handed to you. You put your hands on Ben, did you? You put your hands on Ben, you fucking faggot. How does that feel? How does that feel? Feels good now, faggot, doesn't it? Feel, fucker? How does that feel? Why'd you talk now,
Say I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you better be, asshole. Put your hands on our fucking producer. You get your ass handed to you, fuckhead. Good job, douchebag. Good job.
StreamYard does such a terrible job of.
Did you? I was saying pause it, but I guess you didn't hear me. Did you see the part that someone got fired for in that?
Was that Ben provoking him?
That was Ben spitting on him.
Okay, I knew there was spit. I didn't. Well, I think
that was reason 400 that Ben nearly got fired, but this was the one.
Yeah.
He was done a day or two after this.
Well, and I think he tried to claim that the guy spit on him.
Yeah.
And that's what sort of set the whole thing off. But you saw.
I'm good. I'm still friends with Ben. Let's be honest. But you could see the guy reacting to something, right? You saw him like turn and look at him, like someone just punched him in the face. It was definitely a reaction to something that because the guy wasn't even looking at Ben.
And at first, the story was this guy did a thing, and nobody took him down, and it slowly became like. Everybody started to realize, hey, this guy didn't really do anything. He got spit on.
I would be shocked, and I don't know this.
Oh no,
I would be shocked if a check wasn't written.
There was a check written. You can guarantee there was a check written. No, there you go.
They took Ben's salary to pay it.
Did those guys get? I mean, they were kind of like Howard, right? I mean, Opie and Anthony got big dollars. Maybe the producer got a little bit. But everybody else was not really making any money.
I heard one of the producers was making $70K
in New York.
While they were at XM, I don't know what happened with Sirius. I don't know what the numbers were then, if they changed.
It's a lot of money, but for New York, it's not a lot of money. I don't know if you want to see some more.
No, I don't care. If you do, you go ahead.
Well, I don't know what happens after this. It's just the fallout.
Good job.
Well, they just leave.
I do like when he goes, yes, sir. Are you going to stay still?
So one guy in that picture is dead. One guy in that picture is dead to the show. One guy is dead.
But yeah, by the way, you can tell what year it is by the number of camouflage jorts.
Oh my god! You're right. the fucking the Welcome to New York bus just pulled up next to it, and all the tourists came out with their Polaroids. And this some fucking Puerto Rican with a white dude in a headlock, and fucking howdy doody shouting in his face,
and a burly bear in the lower left-hand corner.
Yes. And his wife is very nice.
That's good.
Hey, is there any chance I can watermark this video with the Foundry logo?
Right.
Everything else does. Anyway.
You should never
spit
on my fucking back. You should never attack anyone. This guy just spit on me. You should never.
Who spit on you?
Nobody spit on you,
He didn't
stupid.
spit at you.
No one spit on you.
Asshole. You want to be a
You
tough
grabbed
guy.
the producer.
This is being a tough guy.
You grabbed our
I was
producer.
stating my opinion. That's all I
You
was
grabbed
like,
our
you are-
producer, asshole.
I'm not trying nothing. But
There's
I'm
fucking
serious.
video of it. You grabbed our producer and pushed him against the wall, you fucking asshole.
After he spit
That's
on
what
me,
you
there's
did.
video
He
of that
didn't
too, so-
spit on. He didn't spit on. He can't even work up his saliva with all the cocaine he does.
Man, oh man. I wonder if this thing has was there ever a show where they said we screwed up here. Turns out that Ben's the bad guy. Did they ever do that kind of show where they said Ben's the bad guy?
Kumia talked about it on his show recently.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if those guys had.
Yeah, like, for the longest time, I guess they were told, but they made out like it was unrelated to his firing.
Wow.
That dude did a lot of fucking coke when I was there, bro.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Let's see. Funny. Happy to be here. I don't know. It just seems crazy that I was alive during the 80s and the 90s, so coke was everywhere, but it's like that late in the day, there's guys working at big radio shows doing coke like crazy.
Oh, they saved his ass 500 times.
Really? But they're like a lot of those other shows. They get a lot of young guys working there, but the guy I couldn't stand ever was, and maybe it was just for the air, it was Danny. It's like I loved it when Mr. Poe would argue with him. Oh God, when Kenny argued with him. Kenny is the most passive aggressive person on earth.
Oh, definitely.
In an argument, he just, Kenny thought it was a good idea to tell me I couldn't get into the concert with an extra person. I didn't think it'd be a big deal. Everybody else was going in and out. Well, did you feel that was appropriate?
Yeah. He's very matter of fact.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what situation in. He's just calm and states facts.
Yeah.
I love Kenny. I'm still great friends with Kenny.
Did you feel
he's fucking running Bill Burr's tour right now. So I get to hang out with that, which is fucking amazing. He's running Schumer's tour, Norton's tour. He does stuff with Dice still. It's a whole nother story. But
well, maybe that's your.
Yeah, I'm not even crossing that bridge with him.
Just say, look, tell him I'll open. He didn't have to pay me.
I want to be famous enough so I can go on fucking one of the late night talk shows, and that's the thing I mention.
You know how I found out about it?
Well, from me, I would hope.
I mean, I know you guys don't get along on a lot, but Denise told me, and she was pissed.
Well, she's the one who laid the money. It wasn't even me.
She was red hot. That son of a bitch owes us $300. And I went, Dice Clay owes you what? That can't be. He's got a house and and then you told me the actual story, which I still can't, it's amazing. It's like, give him the $300.
Well, we did have that. We did have that guy Shane call up his ex-wife and say that he was a gay guy and he'd been to the clinic and could Andrew call him.
Shit.
Were you on that show?
No, I would have remembered that.
No, we absolutely called 30 numbers until we hit the right one.
Who was the big, tall black comedian that you had on? He played basketball down at like Jackson, Florida Gulf Coast University or something. It was early on. You only performed with him once. It was a place, I think, that had, like the host said, we don't allow this kind of humor or that kind of humor. Big, giant dude. God, I can't think of his name now. But whatever.
Was he in studio or not?
No, he's on the phone. He was on the phone. And I think maybe.
K.O. Martin.
Yeah, that's him.
I haven't heard from him in a long time. He filmed one of my friend's specials, but it's just whatever.
And then do you ever do anything with Mr. the black guy? He wrote Confessions of a Shit Talker.
Oh, Mr. Direct?
Yeah, Mr. Direct.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
He can be I've done a lot of work with him, and our business relationship is good. But
now you're still producing those shows, right?
Yes.
How often are those? Once a month still, or?
Yeah, but I'm also producing 5 other venues starting next month.
Wow.
Doing a lot. We're doing a lot. It's actually remember I was doing the Jersey Shore shows?
Yes.
So my competitor reached out to me and asked if I wanted to go partnership with him.
Your competitor, that's not Carl, is it?
No, stop.
I just wanted to see what you'd say.
Please.
Yeah, here's how Carl competes with Paul. When Paul decides he doesn't want to run an open mic or a show anymore, that guy goes and offers to do it for nothing.
That is so fucking true.
That's what happens. Do we need to talk about the late, great, terrible Tim?
We could.
Okay, there was this guy. His name was Terrible Tim. He was real fat, and he believed in every conspiracy theory that ever happened. And the only notable thing about him was that his brother got hit by a car. Uncle or brother got hit by a car, and he got $600,000. And then, in what I can only describe as bitter irony, after he got rich, he died himself. But he made all those songs up about us.
Yes, and me and everybody else.
Yeah. Good times. All right, man. We should probably put a fork in this.
Whatever you want to do.
You've given enough of your time. You've suffered enough.
How much of that $2 do I get?
You can have the whole thing.
Yeah.
You can have all of it. No, it's weird. Some nights you do well, sometimes you don't. If you get your memberships, that's really what's the most stable. And
I literally have no idea when they're talking about. Give me just like 3 minutes here, because what is this whole dabble, people fighting with Stuttering John? This whole world of people that I used to be a part of, like computer hacking things, and then the ONA thing. But now there's a thing that I'm not part of, which is fine. I'm not saying I should be, but it's like Stuttering John, and then there's a guy who sent out porn to someone and he's getting arrested for sending fucking revenge porn out. And then there's another dude, Chuck Zumach's in there somewhere. And then Shuli's people are in there somewhere. It's like a whole universe that I don't know anything about.
Okay, so
did all that come together because they all hate Stuttering John? Is that where that connection built that thing from?
I don't know if I would even call it hatred. The dabble
making fun of.
The Dabbleverse started when John was on Chrissy Mayer's show, and she asked if he did stand up, and he's like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I've been doing stand up for 30 years," which we all know is not true. You've been going to clubs under the auspices of Howard Stern or Jay Leno and showing clips. You really aren't a stand up comic. Everybody knows it. And so she goes, and he got sort of offended, and she said, "Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know you dabbled," and he got pissed at that. So then it became known as the Dabbleverse. So a guy named Carl Heberger, who has a show called "Who Are These Podcasts," started sort of reviewing John's podcast and pointing out, "Listen, John, you haven't done any shows, and I haven't had a real job in 10 years. Okay, you can't keep calling back on your Howard Stern glory and your Jay Leno glory. And oh, by the way, at Jay Leno, you got there. You're supposed to be the announcer. Within weeks, you're moved into the audience and then never seen again. And they keep you on as a writer to save face. Anyway, and then John just does silly, stupid things. So then Shuli started doing a show with Mike Morse and Anthony Zenhauser and Bob Levy. And all these other shows have sprung up. There's probably 10 shows. And it's just, at first it was kind of funny. But John is a one-trick pony. He does the same things all the time. He takes his beer, skull, and he drinks it, throws it across his room. He's got sores all over his hands and face. He drops things. There was a cockroach that ran across his desk one time. He topples over onto his back. And oh, by the way, he's got a guest. His green screen falls down all the time. He's just an oaf, a stupid, and he makes claims that
What did he call himself? Like the
Duke of the Dabbleverse.
The what?
The Duke of the Dabbleverse.
Oh, the Duke.
And
so he's kind of embraced it in one way. By saying he's the head guy now of something that was making fun of him.
Yeah, but like,
didn't he move back to New York and go knock on Kevin Brennan's door a few times?
He didn't move back. He went to visit, and yeah, he did knock on his door. He talked to the doorman. He went by Patrick Melton's house and screamed at him.
Is he still living with his mom? And he screams at his mom on the live stream all the time. Still?
Oh yeah, when he's on he doesn't live with his mom anymore. But when he goes there and stays and visits, oh yeah, he screams like, "Ma, I need coffee," or whatever, and she comes in and gives it. This is too hot. I didn't want it this hot. He's a little bitch, but anyway.
And his wife took all his Tonight Show money, right?
Well, all he had left.
Didn't they like have a house, like $1 million house at some point? Him and his wife.
Yes, he had a spectacular house. I think he sold it and got another house.
Now he's living with his mom.
But he didn't pay her child support for like 9 months. And the poor woman's got the kids, and she's working 2 or 3 jobs, and he's just.
But he doesn't work. So where's he? How did they come up with the child support number when he's got no job?
This was part of the time he was working. I don't think I should have to pay that much. But I don't think I should have to pay that amount.
Let's give him some help. Go on the live stream. Make you say you make $100,000 a month, and then complain when they want $20,000 a month.
Well,
even though he's not making that a year.
I just last night totally said this Dabbleverse thing, I don't want anything to do with it. It's a bunch of, with the exception of a few talented people like Shuli's people and Carl's people, it's just a bunch of really untalented people who, and you will be familiar with this concept, like to screw with people. They don't really have any creative skills, background, or accomplishments. But
I remember when doxing people, before it was called doxing for a start, but it used to be hard, and there used to be only a few people that could pull it off. Now anyone can go on a fucking Facebook and on a website and Tellius or whatever and stick someone's name in and pay $4.
Well,
we'll do it for free. There's free ones too. But
so these kind of people that don't have anything else better to do, of course they can search the internet and try to find the photo he's in. Of course they can search people's names. They don't use their own names. They don't use their own faces. They're basically a bunch of 6th grade girl little bitches. And I'm done with it because, for instance, yourself, any of these people. See, these people think they're super talented. And I'm going, you have 10 people working on your show. I worked at Cartoon Network. And if you have 10 people and that's the show you're producing, you suck. You just suck.
Yeah.
Now you're going to get an audience because there's a whole lot of people that are like, look what he did. He called Stuttering John the bar he goes to and said, "Is Stuttering John there?" And when John answered, he hung up. Ooh! And that's the kind of people we're dealing with here.
We were doing that illegally on the phones when I was 17. We're pranking 2 AT&T operators and hooking them together, and they're talking to each other. I mean, shit, we even put 2 911 operators together one time, which is a stupid thing to do. But, it's pretty funny watching them. Hey, where are you? I'm not what? And they turned out to be across the room from each other in a big call center.
Well, now see, that's creative. There's an idea behind it. But these other folks are just, it's
all been done before. I mean, come on.
If they had to get on the air with somebody like you and started blowing you shit, you would have them eradicated to the ground in 15 seconds. I mean, they will never do that. They hide under rocks. And so they're just these little, it's sort of annoying. It's not a big deal, but they, I made you click the link, or look, I made you read my chat. You didn't make me do anything, man. You said something stupid, so I put it up. It's like Tom Gully smells his own farts. Okay, check out this genius. I made you put that up. You can't make me do anything. So I just don't like being around that. It's like at a certain point in your life, you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. If you were interesting or creative at it, I'd be thrilled. Because, for instance, the pests did interesting things. You know, they did fun and interesting things. I loved when they burn out Scott Farrell's delay. Remember, he was playing that recording. You're gonna go in the back, but then you're gonna die. You'll be alone. No lights, no phones, no smoke. Blah blah blah. And he'd have to play that every time one of the people got on and said Ramon or Party Rock or whatever. That was some creative stuff. These guys aren't creative. They're just.
But it's all why? Because everybody can do what they do now.
Yeah. And they high five themselves afterwards. You ever see like a third grade kid? He's got that football helmet on that's too big and rolling around. And he takes the football and some adults are talking in the front yard and he runs between all of them and then past the tree and spikes the ball and goes, touchdown, I win. That's what I think these people are like. So
it was way more fun when you had to really put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah. And you had to get to know like public record systems and
honestly, there was nothing called public record system.
No, I mean, you'd go to the public record, or
we dig a lot deeper.
Or like, go,
dude, in 1993, some dude was trying to fucking muscle his way in on Denise, and he was a local guy. I should have just let him have her.
Thank you for specifying the year.
Yeah. But he was trying to muscle in, and he was a local guy. You know, he liked pills, and he's dead now. What a shame. But I used to prank him so badly and send him fucking pizzas and stuff. This is back when no one was doing this shit. He changed his phone number, and before they did it, I called him and told him the new phone number.
He wasn't at the park in a car at some point with Denise?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. So not the guy that was in the car.
I don't remember that.
Well, episode 24.
Oh, okay. I'll have to.
Yeah. That's going to be.
Oh, yes.
How could I forget?
I thought that was after. That wasn't episode 24. That was way later. I would even say that was that conversation was in the when COVID was going on. I don't think that was on the original version of the podcast.
Are you talking about the one I'm talking about?
You talking about the dude that?
No. That's not. I don't want. And I'm doing that for your sake. I don't care about the show, but I'm saying I'm talking about you guys had the mother of all battles on the show, and there was like two boxes in the room. You and Denise are each standing next to one of the boxes.
Can you give me I might be thinking of something different to you.
And inside the box,
because this thing happened in like 2013.
Let me.
This
is not the same thing.
Maybe
it's not the same thing. I'm gonna let's see here. I think I have it right here. Yes. Okay. Oh, that's it. Episode 24, dude.
I don't remember the thing about the car.
Weren't they in a car when the?
What was the day of episode 24? Do you know?
I can only give you the date of. Let's see.
Was it by a lake?
This says. Let's see. June 2nd, 2017. I can.
Yeah, I mean that could have that. Yeah. That could be the. Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm not going to play hardly anything of this, but
no, don't play any of it. But
okay. Damn it!
You can play what you want. I don't care.
I'm going to play 3 seconds of
it. Was this the one that when they were there, I went to someone's house?
I don't think so.
No, because I think it's the same thing. I think I just missed.
I want to get a blowjob from you.
Hold on.
Did I write that? No.
Hold on a second.
Okay, it's that one. It's the back and the forth, and you did this wrong, I did that wrong, and it just didn't stop.
Yeah, I don't remember. Can you put in the private chat, give me more info, and see if I'm thinking of the same thing?
Let's see. All I have is the file.
Oh, I'm saying, can you type what else was said?
Okay. Yeah. I can do that. Yeah. I can.
I'm just remember. I'm pretty certain that it is the same thing.
Let me see here. That's basically it. I think you.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. And there was a lot of. She was very mad because you had talked to someone that you either worked with back at JVC or the video company, or your high school. It might have been your high school, and it's like I talked to everybody from back then. She lived over the ocean. She's being a bit unreasonable. Oh yeah, there was a lot of crazy stuff in that episode. Paul, one day when you no longer have a job at a place, that'll be a good one to go over. And offered.
Oh, I spelled that wrong.
Oh shit. Yeah. You know what the weird thing is? Of all the times I did your show, I never did one with Big A.
Did you not?
No, not a single one. Not a single one.
Actually, what happened is he was on the show and we told him your name was Storm and he didn't get it out for the whole show. Like, stir.
We did have Bobo on one time.
Oh God, was that the one where Bobo's mom was crying?
Yes. Yes, and
I didn't know he had 27 surgeries to his penis. That part didn't come out. It was actually, she talked about the surgeries, but she never said what. And then it came out a while ago that they were dick surgeries.
And didn't he have some giant? I know that. What was the thing you could talk about that would get him excited? Was it baseball or the Mets or something? Or did that make the other thing happen?
No, but there was the one episode where he was in his underwear and Patrice was in there. And then I think it's on YouTube as Patrice's biggest laugh on O&A. And you would talk about stuff and and Patrice just couldn't talk. It was so fucking funny.
Yeah. That was some awesome. Do you watch any of Opie's stuff now?
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Somebody posted somebody posted on eBay today a T-shirt from his original show in Long Island, WBAB.
Did you get it?
No, I'm not spending $99 on that shit.
99.
That was
Who would? Is it like a real original shirt or is it a replica?
It's definitely the original.
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Hold on, I'm gonna fucking a second here. Whoop.
StreamYard giving you problems?
No, I'm clicking over to
all right,
find
here
this
you go.
thing for you.
Here's the AI Tom Gully creepy ice cream man.
Wow, that is a long link.
That is those killer shit link. That's okay. There's lots of them. There's the when I started out in radio. There's the Scarlet Witch Tom Gully.
That link I sent you is the T-shirt.
Let's see here. There's the planes.
Is that starting, John?
Oh. Yeah, it is. There's the Incredible Hulk AI. Do you do a lot of stuff with AI?
I've been using I've been using it to do logos lately. I've been using ChatGPT to create logos for different things.
Yeah, because you start a business like every 5 minutes.
I know.
Let's see here. This is, oh my goodness.
It's a real link. It is okay. It's just got all their stupid tags in it.
I know. But this is just, excuse me, this is, boy, that is really like 1990-ish or maybe even earlier. That is the most ugly T-shirt I've ever seen in my life. But let's see. Has it got pit stains? $99 or best offer.
I'm going to offer 10.
Might as well.
It's the worst that can happen.
Let's see here. Vintage Opie Nighttime Attitude T-shirts, gently used, clean and in good pre-owned condition. Visible signs of use and wear. Printed in the late 80s, early 90s, before Anthony Cumia joined the show.
Pick the put it on the screen because I think Julian's asking something about it.
You know, Julian's going to have to realize this is not all about him. No, I'm kidding. No, Julian's a great guy. I love to show it to you. I'd love to show you, especially since this is a stationary thing and I don't have to. There you go. There it is. Let's run through these things here. There it is, wide shot. I think this is the back. What is it? Auto truck something. Vehicles. And,
yeah, some shit.
Whoops, daisy. There we go. There's that. I guess you could tile those together if you were really interested. There's the hideous logo. I don't know what those peanuts are for, but
yeah. Somebody wrote on Facebook from peanuts to grapes, which made me laugh really hard because Opie would fucking chew grapes on the air for fucking years.
I like how he uses tweezers like it's the fucking Declaration of Independence under glass. Let's see. Okay. Let's make sure and get that in all the languages. Oh, there's the shot of the fabric. It actually does look like it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, but it's also, you can tell it's real because, if it was one of those reprints that people will keep banging out of different things, they're like perfect, but this is not in good, it's not new shape. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes you.
Oh, look, there's a little.
I mean, it's almost a collector's item, really. I've got some good O&A stuff.
Like what?
Oh my god. Every shirt they've ever done signed. I've got Louis C.K. signed the Lucky Louis poster. I've got one of those billboard signs that guy was there when he got beat up. That big sign. I have one of those on the studio wall.
Well, I noticed you had a bunch of stuff on the studio wall. The that shirt.
I'm actually pissed that I put that big thing on the studio wall because it's stuck to the wall, and I'm concerned that if I pull it off, it's gonna rip. It's pretty thick. It's like plasticky, but whatever.
Yeah. Well,
What's the coolest collectible you have that you can think of? And then I'll tell you what mine is.
I don't know. I got.
Do you have collectible shit? I mean, I'm not talking about fucking Pokemon cards. I'm just saying, just something cool that you have. It's like weird and obscure, but it's like if you.
Well, I have a whole bunch of books that were signed by the author.
I have.
Here's one. I've got the telegram Letterman sent me after I won the scholarship. That's the thing I probably prize the most. But as far as, I mean, I've got countless baseballs and things that are signed by people, but I don't really care about baseball. So what's the most, I really have to think about that. I have a book I helped work on when I was at Cartoon Network about the history of Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
And the front cover of it is actually got a cell from a cartoon in the cover. You can, And Joseph Barbera, I got to work with him on that. I've got my picture with him. And then on the inside of the book, he drew like a falling cartoon character, like that had grabbed onto a branch, and it said, "Tom, thank you for all your help." Like it's kind of cool. If you're a cartoon person, it would probably be awesome. I'm sure you've got better than that. I used to have a lot of stuff, and I just got rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got jerseys I wore in soccer that I exchanged my jersey with the other guy. I have a signed Pele soccer ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I have.
Yeah, I met him in person.
Oh, that's good because half that shit on eBay is fake anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a baseball cap that everybody that worked on the new Eddie Murphy Beverly Hills Cop movie, the crew hat, and I have a crew hat from the pilot.
Most of your stuff comes from that big porn convention they have in Jersey.
Yeah, no, not this stuff. Most of the stuff I have on eBay does.
Yeah.
I have backstage passes for all the Eddie Murphy tours, stand-up tours. I have shirts. I have a jacket from Eddie Murphy Raw. A lot of signed stuff. I have like Mr. Bean. I have Christmas cards from Charles and Diana.
Wow.
Christmas card. I have a Queen and Prince Philip Christmas card. A lot of 80s music. I have Pet Shop Boys signed. I have Erasure signed.
I have a T-shirt from Elvis Costello's first tour of America. So it's from cool. 77, maybe. And it's mine. I got it there. So let's see
so
here.
Jerry Springer was giving out, they were selling like baseball cards, but like one or two out of like a million was signed by him. I have one of the signed ones.
Cool.
A lot of signed stuff. But it's all a lot of mostly, a lot of. I have Benny Hill, who I installed his cable TV, so I have Benny Hill's signature.
What's it like to install?
Let me tell you something. In his house was just like the TV show. But
really?
when we saw him walking on the street, it was all different. He was like he walked around, he literally walked around like he was a kid toucher with like his head, his hood on his jacket up.
Well, maybe he just didn't want to be.
The house was different,
Yeah. Yeah. Who's the guy? Oh man, you know the movie Psycho, right?
The original or the old?
Yeah, the original. Tony Perkins. I worked with him on a commercial. What a dick!
Really?
Oh boy. And
he was a real dick apparently, and I'm not saying he is because I don't know him, but my friend worked a lot with Kevin Smith, and he says that Jason fucking Mewes is a complete cunt to everybody.
I don't know why. I mean, both of those guys I've had plenty of. If I see Kevin Smith on a stage telling his quirky movie experiences, I'm gonna vomit. I just get.
But he has that movie theater back now that's like fucking 20 miles from my house, so he's always there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
do you ever hear the British show The Goodies?
Yeah.
So I have 2 books signed by all of them. Oh, here's my prized possession. I have is it a program? I think it's a program or an album from when Monty Python came to America the first time and they did the Hollywood Ball.
Well, the Secret Policeman's Ball or just the Hollywood Ball?
No, not the Secret Policeman's Ball. The Monty Python tour.
Yeah.
The first time they ever came to America, the Secret Policeman's Ball was a bunch of comedians.
Yeah.
But it's signed by all of them.
Wow.
That's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
But
now
I've
worked
various
with
80s groups. I got Madness, the Human League.
Oh well.
I got Rick and Adrian signed a program for the Bottom Live tour, which is a sequel to the Young Ones.
Who are you talking to? I mean, come on. I mean,
I know.
I've worked with some, and especially in advertising, really, really famous people. I never get a picture with them. As a matter of fact, William Shatner, I was supposed to interview him, and there was somebody there was before me. It was a TV crew, and I was doing it for a magazine. And he was really mad at these people because they wanted 27 pictures with him and everything else. And there was a photographer there, and I was about to sit down for the interview, and the lady came up, and Shatner's like, here, I'm sitting down. She goes, would you like a photo? And I said, ma'am, I'm about to have something far more valuable than a photograph. I'm about to have a conversation with this man. He was eaten out of the palm of my hand for the whole interview. I
would have had the picture afterwards. I have a pic and a backstage pass from when Sam Kinnison's band played.
I've got Michael Jordan. Did a commercial with him.
Oh, really? He's one of the most faked fucking autographs on eBay. Him and Kobe Bryant.
Sure.
They're crazy. They're crazy faked.
Yeah. I bought one. I got a Kobe. It turned out to be fake. It said, just getting into the helicopter. See you soon. And if he had written that, it would have.
Did you see what Ari Shaffir wrote? Ari Shaffir wrote that day.
Oh yeah. He got in big trouble for that.
Yeah.
Well, it's Ari Shaffir does The Amazing Racist.
Yeah, I don't think he likes that surface anymore. Well, I have a book signed by all the Spice Girls. Plus a video of it being signed, so I know it's real.
Hey, if you want to be
videos
my
on videos on VHS,
you got to get with my friends. The Amazing Racist. I don't even know how to feel about that because it really is lampooning racism. I mean, it's not like
when he takes all those fucking Mexicans to the immigration office. I mean, sorry, that's fucking amazing.
But I mean,
you could never do that now.
Oh, I mean, all of that stuff on its face is just horrible behavior. But at the heart of it is, why is this way? You know, why there wouldn't be humor here if people weren't such idiots about how they feel about race. But boy, do you really worry about that? Because I do. I worry about everything I've ever said. I've been talking on the radio since I was 16, and I'm like, who knows what I'm. And I'm not talking about racial stuff necessarily. I'm talking about when I was 17. If I said, I think John F. Kennedy's the best president ever, he liked a Democrat, we got to cancel his ass immediately.
Right.
It could be about anything. And it's like, when do we start doing that?
I have one particular thing I'm worried about. I'm not going to say it on the air. I'll put it in the chat.
Well, you don't have to put it. You know,
no, not that chat, the private one.
I know, but I'm just saying, you don't even have to codify it to that degree if you don't want to. But I don't. Oh yeah, that would do it.
And there's still a few of those around. Here, I fixed a lot of it, but there's still one place that I know I can't fix.
Here, let me help you out. Let me help you out. I'll do a couple reactions to what you just typed in the thing. Oh, Paul. Here's another one. Oh, that's all the time we have for right now. There's a number of different. I don't worry about it. But it's like, why did we doing that? Because here's the thing. There's people out there saying the dumbest, most crazy stuff, and no problem. Yet they'll sneak back to, back in 1980.
There should be a rule of how far back they can go. Obviously there's no rule. That's a complete stupid statement.
Right.
But if you said something on a comedy radio show in 2004, why and you don't say it now, or at least only in the car on the parkway when someone cuts you off?
Well, it's even worse. I mean, it's like, hey, guess what? When I was 4 years old, I thought Abraham Lincoln was a poopy head because I didn't like his stovepipe hat. Jesus Christ, people evolve, and I
think what it is, is if you get, I don't want to say famous enough, but if you get in the public eye enough, people start having nothing better to do than to find a reason. Normally, it's the people that don't agree with you, right?
Well, yeah, or these little Dabbleverse type people that have nothing to do, nothing. So it's just.
I think if they ever went back to the O&A stuff, they would find so much, they would shit themselves.
Without question. Without question.
And that's on everybody that was ever on that show.
Yeah, down.
I'm probably screwed at least somewhat.
Well, but
you know what? My comeback to that is everybody was doing it then, and
it was a different time.
You don't think that there was encouragement for certain people to do certain things to fill certain gaps in the show?
It was a different time.
Exactly.
But also, well, like
explain to me how you can be on a comedy show saying something and it's bad, but you can be Edward Norton on fucking American History X, but that's okay because you're acting. That's one of the things I've never understood. So if an actor takes a job and does that, that's okay.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
Well, and what about Tippy Tom? Things like that are was not Tippy Tom.
We taking him to the mall and fucking making him.
Even that, I don't think that would be crazy controversial today. but destroying that cake.
Yeah, that shit keeps popping up every couple of years. Have you noticed that?
I have, because people look at that and say that is the cruelest shit I have ever seen. You know, here's this guy, and he's got a cake, and you could tell he's so happy he got that cake. You know,
meanwhile, they had the homeless guy in the studio that talked about wanting to rape the Queen of England and Condoleezza Rice, which they did get suspended on XM for 30 days. But you don't hear about that anymore, you know. And Al Sharpton, let's be honest, Al Sharpton was kicking off when that happened.
Yeah.
And then miraculously, he got an XM radio show, and that whole topic went away real quick. Absolutely what happened.
Well, it's nice when you have the ability to have unlimited channels.
Yeah, exactly. Here, we're going to put you on channel 99999.
Yeah. Or we're going to put you on a channel. It always made me laugh. And it's Bob Dylan signs with satellite radio. And then Bob Dylan does like one show a freaking year. They had all these big stuff, like Springsteen's channel. Yeah, they could play Springsteen on that, but he ain't doing no DJ job over there. So you put him on, you know.
I remember when Bam Margera was on the show, because the whole thing with Opie's wife getting accused of making a sex tape with him. It came out that he was doing a show, and it was half an hour a week.
Yeah, it's it's a ripoff.
You know, and O&A, I think we're in the like $2 to $3 million a year each kind of range when they were on XM.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what they were doing at NEW, but some of these people, to get their name on there, they're like, when Oprah did stuff, and then her channel never had anything of her on.
Never.
And they said, you know, they were talking about this on O&A back in the day, and I heard it because they were talking about, actually Howard Stern was talking about it the day that O&A started day one at K-Rock, when they did the double transmission. They did the FM and they did the XM, and Howard Stern was banging on about it, and they were talking about how, you know, Oprah probably got paid way more than O&A to have her name on that channel.
Probably.
You know, and they're like the little bit, yeah, the little bit that she does on the air, she's like not motivated or any of this other shit. Meanwhile, on her TV show, she's you know, you can tell.
And you get a car, on her satellite show is like, and you get to listen to me. Remember the Vinny Beatles?
And did she ever promote that XM shit on her show on TV?
Oh, hell no.
Maybe there was a TV commercial that XM paid for in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Remember the Vinny Beetle episode?
Ugh.
You run into him again, or is he down in Florida?
He's Florida still.
Yeah. I think he probably gypped so many people in New York and New Jersey that it was just like, I'll go back to Florida. But
I'm shocked we haven't heard anything from Florida about him doing the same shit.
Yeah, that was the episode. Who's the comic that was on that he had, Mike
Marsh, something like that?
Yeah, remember
the guy that financed the whole trip to Chicago or Detroit, whatever it was, and then got 5 minutes on the stage, and then got stiff for paying this and
And then on your show, got to hear Vinny Beetle say, well, your stuff, nobody laughed. It's not good. And we watched the tape back and listened to it. Mm-hmm. And no, actually, he was quite funny. And the crowd was very much liking him. And then you came on stage, and that's when everything shit the bed. Mm-hmm. That was also an episode where Bob Levy called in.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my first Bob Levy interaction. I was helping him out in the mornings a little bit here recently. What's this say? Let's see. Tom, make fun of this guy, be a heel. I don't know who that is. I've never seen this guy in my chat before. That's okay. Tom, you're better than this guy. I don't know that anybody's better than No Filter Paul. Please. That's
this is the one person who's come to bother me.
Oh, do you know who they are?
No clue.
I'm surprised was it son-in-law, or who's the guy that is on the oil rigs?
Oh, my nephew.
Nephew, that's it. Yeah. Surprised he hasn't called in to hassle me. He's not a fan.
Oh, family news. I got a piece of family news to finish that off. Yeah. So you know the story about my nephew being the hired killer out of Tennessee?
Yes, but I think that's a good story to tell the listenership.
There's a new part. That's not. Yeah. All right. So some of you guys may have seen a story out of Nashville and Austin, Texas, of a car dealer guy who was going to Nashville and while he was there, he was married and he was seeing this girl who turned out to be an escort. And when he went home, the boyfriend of the escort decided to try and blackmail him for 25 grand. So instead of paying the 25 grand, he called his friend, who was a PI, he hired 3 guys to go to Nashville and threaten this guy, right? So that's the plan. They went there and all was good, right? And they came back, and the one kid said, I got some guns. We can straighten this whole situation out right now. So the other 2 guys said, fuck that, and they left. And another guy went down. And they were like, yeah, this is not cool. And then the car guy gave him 750 grand to do this. So the people walked out in the parking lot and they shot one in the back of the head, and then they put the other one in the car, and then they shot him and they dumped the body and all this other shit. And the whole story goes on. And there was an ABC special. It was 2 hours. It was about 3 months ago. There was an ABC.
It was a 2020.
Yes.
Yeah.
On this whole thing, 2 hours. So I'm reading Drudge one day, and I read all the wacky stories on there, and I come across one, blah blah, blackmailed by girlfriend, blah blah blah, and I click on it, and I'm reading through it, and it gets to the point of the names, and my nephew was one of the guys that did the murder.
Well,
so,
yeah. And you started sending me those clips, and I'm like, Jesus, God, it's one of those stories that's like, when you watch those shows, you're like, there's 19 places in this plot line you could have said, and most people would have said, no, this is a dumb idea. And nobody did ever.
Yes, exactly.
And then when they get to the most important part of the whole thing, which
how he got caught is classic, right? So the guy that's the PI, they know there's murders. They know there's murders here, and they can't really figure out the connection between all these people until 1 year later, the car dealer writes a Google review on the PI's website. These guys are doing great. Excellent. Really appreciate it. These guys will take care of business. At which point the FBI said, oh, there's the connection.
It's like, would kill someone again.
Yeah.
Work them in.
Got in town with an hour to kill, So then they the PI guy that hired these 2 guys that did the murder, he rolls. The cops roll him. And they have him call the car dealer guy and then, start talking on the phone. And then once they got the recording, they grabbed the car dealer. The FBI pulled him over and grabbed him. My nephew and this other kid, he calls him up and he says, hey, we want to do this again. Can we meet? And he says, you remember that thing you did in Nashville? We need you to do it again here. And then my nephew describes everything he did, how he shot the girl, and that whole thing's on video. And, and they just actually got a new trial. This is so fucked up. They were found guilty and everything. The car dealer was only found guilty of conspiracy to murder. There was 2 other charges. There was a gun charge and the kidnapping charge that everybody got. But they said that the car dealer didn't have anything to do with either of those 2 things. But the jury was given a couple of recordings from the wiretaps, which the judge had kicked out. So there's like 20 wiretap recordings. 2 of them were kicked out, but all 20 were given to the jury room on a USB stick. And that was enough to get the whole case kicked.
Oh, man.
So they're doing it again.
Yeah, and they're going to convict him again, and they'll go back to jail.
And they can also only try him again for the charges they got found guilty of. So it doesn't go back to the start where they're throwing all these charges at the car dealer guy. You're only allowed to retry guilty stuff on a new trial. So
sure.
So he's going to lose again, but this guy's got millions of dollars. They said they don't want to get death penalty already. The FBI said that, and I don't think that state even has death penalty right now. I'm not sure, but anyway.
Well, they used to.
But if you're going to be in jail forever without parole, and you've got millions of dollars in the bank, you are going to file 400 appeals.
Sure, and you just die before you ever go to trial. Tennessee used.
But he's in jail anyway. There's no bail. They didn't let any of them bail. So what difference does it make?
Right.
Unless you get out at the end. You know what I mean?
Tennessee used to have a really awful, rickety I think they called it Old Sparky or something. It was an electric chair. I don't know that that's what they do anymore, but they used to. But so your nephew, that's obviously on your wife's side, right?
Yes.
And of course, her family, sadly, this is probably not the first person from her Gambino crime family background that has been charged with one of these crimes. So how is your wife taking it? What's the family doing? Is it just like, that guy moved away, we don't know him, I hope the best, good luck to you? Or is it, we got to send him a cake with a file in it?
No, yeah. We knew it because, I mean, I got to be vague with this because I don't want them. When we found out from the DNA that my wife was connected to some of the mob people from back in the day in New Jersey, Bayonne, he called up my mother-in-law and said, "Hey, can you introduce me to these people? I'll do anything." That's literally what he said. So this guy's always been about, I want to kill people. I mean, who knows how many people in the Marines he killed? I mean, not other Marines, hopefully, but So yeah, he was always into that crazy shit. Because we found out from the DNA that my wife was related to the guy that drove Paul Castellano when he got shot outside the steakhouse.
Yeah,
he was the driver. Was my wife's like second cousin or something, and of course he was killed too. So. But yeah. So anyway, I got an update on the family, right? So I'm gonna send you a link in the private chat.
This is a news story here.
Yeah.
Does it got video or do we just?
No, I don't think it's video.
Okay, well that's okay. I can just show the actual. Let's see here real quick. Throw this.
So this guy choked a police officer. He threatened some woman, and the fucking judge gave him a $250 bail.
Let's see.
So he got out on his bail, and he fucking. I don't know if it's in this article, but there are articles that say we cannot describe the murder scene. It is too graphic.
Let's see. It says it's a God, this freaking stupid. I hate those billboard ads at the top.
Yeah, I know. They you can't scroll.
Can you just say that Colorado man arrested for allegedly murdering his mother weeks?
Yeah, he definitely chopped her up. There's no doubt, because there was articles where the cops said we can't describe the scene.
Michael Fuller, 30, was arrested Friday, November 1st for allegedly murdering his 71-year-old mother, Tony Fuller. I love when I get to use my professional news. I tell you what. What do you think the connection is to the family on this one? I don't know. I wish I knew what the connection was to the fuckhead that designed this webpage. Jesus Christ. It's just like there's a thing I saw, a cartoon. It's this guy, he gets to hell and he says to Satan, I shouldn't be in hell. I've done great things for people. I really have my whole life, really. And he's like, I don't know. That's what the records say. He goes, it was the pop-up ads, wasn't it? And Satan goes, yeah, it was the pop-up ads.
So when Caitlin, my daughter that was 15, one of her friends, her boyfriend at the time, went to rehab, and she went to visit him, and then he moved to Colorado and killed his mom.
Oh, so he's Michael Fuller.
Yes, that's my daughter's ex-boyfriend.
The victim was 71-year-old Tony Fuller, who died of blunt and sharp force injury. God damn it. What fucking page is this? MSN? Yeah, well, that makes sense. It's so, you do computer stuff for a living. I do computer. It's like, did no one ever fucking sit down in front of your shit and say, pretend you're a human being using this? No, they just fucking, they're just trying to get money. They know they can't, like the biggest newspaper in New Jersey, the Star Ledger, well, one of the biggest, the Star Ledger, announced that in like February, there's no more newspaper. It's online now. But this is so not you get the paywall shit all the time. Where you read a paragraph and then you can't read anymore unless you pay. I would rather pay
I was actually subscribing to the Tennessee newspaper because I would get some great articles about my wife's family off of it. But what would you rather have, annoying pop-up ads or fucking?
Well, this isn't
pay
even
them $1 a month.
As you can
it's just
see,
bullshit.
This
it's Anchor. They've got anchors on the ads, and it's fucking you up.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's not even good fucking coding. That ad should still be there. Right. It's like, I got no problem with that. But when you're my page is doing the jitterbug, it's doing a fucking samba, and I'm not doing anything. It's just, I swear to God, I have written many websites and just going, you know what? I would probably frequent your site, but it is coded like such shit that I am over. People are unforgiving when it comes to that.
I actually have 2 paragraphs for a website I need you to write because I know you can write them in fucking 2 minutes, and I suck.
Yeah, send it.
Yeah.
He allegedly threatened to kill her and her dog. He allegedly also threw a beer bottle and a large rock at them. She tried to get away but didn't want to leave her dog behind. Police said Michael then got closer before the woman pepper sprayed tore his face and went into the river. One of the officers arrived on the scene. Michael and the alleged victim were in the water.
He's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, boy, oh boy. Oh, this is Loveland, Colorado here. Which
I don't know. Do you know where that is?
Well, it's really close to like Columbine. I think
Columbine, that's perfect.
It's in Littletown, but Loveland is. I think it's close to there and Aurora, where that movie shooting happened. And that's a weird area. All these upscale people killing each other all the time. It's like, it's not what's supposed to happen. Let's see here. Casey says, what's this? Well, apparently it's some form of rudimentary system of binary code that is sent out over the internet. And I believe it operates on some kind of electricity. People. I just can't handle stupid people. I just can't. I can't. It's, if you're trying, I'm not mad at you. But if you're not trying and you're just really dumb, I got no. Oh, do we show Randall P. McMurphy, Tom Gully? I can't remember. All right, man. I'm gonna let you get to your family. I almost said it with a straight face. Yeah. You got any birthdays coming up, or will you not be taking the Jersey Turnpike soon?
Janice's birthday is in 6 days.
Oh, well then, you just.
She'll be old.
I think she's my age, isn't she?
You can't be that old, can you?
Does her age start with a 6?
Yes.
Was she born in 63-ish?
She was born in 61.
Jesus Christ! No. But I know that sometimes, and I don't want you to do the casarai. I don't want you to do your act, but just between us, I know sometimes you get gifts along the road.
Okay.
That's a thing from your. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I'm not really sure.
Walmart's closed.
Oh, yes, I did that joke on Saturday. They like that.
Here publicly in front of everyone.
Definitely not doing that joke.
I have done a terrible thing to Paul. I promised him I would do something that involved some audio production, and my computer isn't letting me do it. However,
did you get a new computer yet, or you still not got a new computer?
No, I still got the other one because the new gig gave me a computer I use for work, and I'm at work all the time. It's the only thing I really use this for is this at the present. But so I've heard that act, 20, 30, 40 times.
Oh, you just got a $5.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Someone liked it.
The Triple D, Dupa Dupa Doo says, great show tonight, guys. Thanks for the laughs. Thank you, Dupa. You're great. No, it's sometimes you make whatever you make in a night, and I guess here, I'll put it in the private chat.
Sometimes it's 1 cent.
It's let's see. So you get memberships, and those are automatic every month and just sort of roll.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So, and I'm not doing this for the money anyway. It's like I don't really care. The audience knows I don't care.
Yeah, they can tell by the act and the show.
Yeah. and then there's the whole, cost to benefit ratio. Is very, very small. Oh boy, here comes.
Oh, is all that stuff set up within StreamYard?
Yes, StreamYard here. Let's see. Rumpled Trenchcoat, Columbo Podcast, $5. Thank you, Rumpled Trenchcoat. Tremendous sponsor and supporter of the show. Hey, just got here. What did I miss? Okay.
All right, here we go. Another 2 hours and 45 minutes.
That's it. Here you go. Paul's wife blew out her knee. Something happened in a bathroom with a celebrity. Paul was on a diaper on the sidewalk for Opie Anthony. Anyway, we'll play it later. You'll see it all. People saying hi. Most cheerful chat room on the internet is verified by independent sources. What were we talking about?
So do you have to set up the subscriptions on YouTube or on here?
Here's how it works. You have to be able to get monetized on YouTube. Okay, so
because I don't have enough hours of play. I used to be, and then all these idiots with bootleg movies made the hours go up.
Well, you have to have a certain number of subscribers and a certain number of view hours.
Yeah, so my video, I don't have quite enough. I'm about halfway there on the view hours, and I'm about 100 people off on the subscribers.
Yeah, that's easy. You'll be fine. So when you get that, then you set up all of the criteria for payment and things. You have to establish a Google Ads account. You have to hook it up to your.
Yeah, I did all that before, but like I said, when they changed the numbers, they took it all away.
Yeah, so most people choose to use StreamYard, Streamlabs, or something that when folks super chat, if you just use YouTube, you could still be monetized and people could still do all that, but you wouldn't see it. It just go into your account and stuff. When you use Streamlab and all that stuff, it shows up in the chat. Therefore, you can put it up on the screen.
Rumpled Trench is a big O&A fan and knows me from O&A. That's cool.
Let's see.
And if he has more followers on his podcast, I'll click over there.
He does a pre-recorded show that's really good. If you like Columbo, it is the best. Columbo.
Oh, it's literally the Columbo TV show.
Yeah. So what he does is,
I haven't watched more than I don't even know if I ever watched a whole episode of that. Maybe it's back in the day.
It's really good. So if you watch an episode of it and then you go to his podcast for that episode.
Oh, he does an episode by episode show?
Yeah.
So what's he going to do when he runs out of shows? Start again?
Well, I'm really glad that you asked that, Paul. He does have.
No, he don't. He just told you're a fucking liar.
He does have a plan. There's going to be a reboot. That's the plan.
Did you watch the Talking Sopranos podcast?
Yes,
that was great, but they did an episode, but at the end they ran out of shit.
Well,
I thought that was great until fucking Michael Imperiari just decided to turn his Instagram into "this is who you should vote for," and that annoys me when celebrities do that. It's just bullshit. It's like people go to watch fucking Bruce Springsteen, and he does 20 minutes on. I'm not even going to just tell you what side he's on. It's irrelevant. But they, and singers, they stop their concerts for 20 minutes and just bang on about whoever they like. And I don't care if it's someone I like or the person I don't like. It's not your fucking. You're here to play a fucking guitar. Will you shut the fuck up?
Well, I've heard some people tastefully, like one line, introduce the song. Hey, this is about the world we live in, the decisions we're making. That's it. That's it. There's no real political. But Bruce Springsteen has been back and forth on. I like these guys. I like that guys. I don't know.
I mean, I understand they're using their platform. I get that part, but it's like I don't know. I don't care who fucking Taylor Swift wants you to vote for.
Well, here's the other thing that I have to tell.
Duper in the chat is saying I suspend. If Duper and Rumple want to message me on Instagram at NoFilterPaul and tell me one episode to watch of Columbo that will entice me to want to watch it all, okay? So if Duper and Rumpel want to
Yeah.
message me on Instagram, tell me the episode that you think is the best one that will convince me, because I will go down a fucking rabbit hole with old TV shows.
Well,
you know,
have you
I
seen
will absolutely do that. So
have you seen Banachek?
No, what is that?
Banachek is, well, the pilot was called Banachek, A Cool Million. And so George Papard, who you would probably remember. Yeah, there you go. He is Banachek. And Banachek is a detective. He's an investigator, but he is a guy that's hired by insurance companies to figure out what happened to something they're going to make a big payout on. And if he solves it and they don't have to pay it out, he gets 10% of whatever they were going to pay out. So it's always multi-millions, and he's going to make, a lot of money. And that's the show. He's this sort of playboy detective investigator guy. It's really good. But the whole thing about his is he's doing it for the money. It's not like all these detective shows where I'm going to fight evil.
I mean, I when I was a kid, we didn't get a lot of American shows, but we got The Fall Guy and Rockford Files, and I did enjoy
the Rockford Files box set.
Yeah, I think I have it. I have it on a hard drive somewhere.
Well, and then I feel stupid. All these things I have box sets of. I have Roku TV. I'm pretty sure there's a Rockford Files channel where you can.
You hear the dumbest thing about The Sopranos, right? They've never put out a 4K Blu-ray, so someone decided to AI upscale all the episodes, and I have those, and they're beautiful, and they should fucking put out a 4K fucking set, and they're idiots.
Do you? What's your?
My Instagram is @NoFilterPaul. It's real easy. So if Rumpel and Duper want to send me their suggestions of which Columbo episode, they can do that.
And I typed it wrong into the chat. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm not No Flyer Paul.
Well, you are, but that's not your.
I'm on that list, but
are you still getting those amazing trips through the wacky low budget airline purchase thing that you do?
The various city things I've been doing.
Well, you went over to England and back for like nothing.
Yeah, well, the guy I deal with, he makes his money and gets the best deals when you go to more than one city.
Okay.
So like me, I had before the pandemic, I had a trip to fucking Australia and New Zealand planned. It was like 4 days in Perth, 4 days in Adelaide, 4 days in Melbourne, and 4 days. It wasn't Christchurch. It was whatever town has the big volcano in, whatever. Including flights between everything and hotels and everything. And it was less than $5,000 for 2 people.
Well,
with everything, and fuck, you go on Travelocity, it was $1,900 each for the round trip fucking ticket just to Australia.
Yeah.
And when I did my my trip to Italy and Venice and Rome, it was less than $2,000 for 2 people for this fucking trip, bro. And it included the bullet train between them and fucking everything.
Well, my favorite thing about that trip you were planning to New Zealand and Australia was that you had some mics set up that you wanted to do.
Oh yeah, I had the whole fucking thing set up, dude. I went to New Orleans with Denise and I did a fucking show.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I think if we get to Melbourne in time, the angry koala has got an open mic at 8 o'clock.
No, I'm like Denise. We were going to fly out at 6 a.m., but we're flying out at 3 a.m. because I got a 5-minute spot.
Do you? I was talking to Levy about how brutal comedy is now, in just about every way. It's like the pay is brutal. The owners are kind of brutal of the way they treat you.
Define brutal. I'd like to know what. Does Levy ever give you any kind of numbers, or does he not mention numbers?
He didn't really mention. Well, he mentioned the numbers that people are getting paid.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah. Well,
I mean, the one club in the city, and not in the city, in New Jersey that shut down recently, it was like $300 for the weekend for a headliner.
Jesus. That's and so like a legit club,
and it was $175 or $150 for the feature, and then the host, as we well know, was working for free. But
so that's $150, it's $450 for 2 nights. 2 shows a night?
No.
No, that's different.
They only ever did like 4 door deals there for like big names.
Yeah.
And we were just telling them constantly, you just take the gamble. It doesn't cost you anything. If no one shows up, the worst you're in for is a waitress.
Yeah.
But no, they wouldn't do it, you know.
But
then you go to other clubs and they give door deals to everybody. And I know a comic that cleared like $6,000 in a weekend at one of the bigger clubs in Jersey.
Right.
But the club made fucking $4,000 on the tickets, and then they probably made $10,000 on the food.
And
the guy did 4 shows. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people, if it's a door deal, it doesn't cost you anything if no one comes. Don't feel bad about giving that kind of money out, because look at the money you're getting.
Well,
you know?
Yeah. And even, man, I've heard some people talking about, and this is during the week, but still, it's like I did this club and I middled and $25. $25. Why?
Well, New York, if you're driving around New York City all night and you're doing the $25, $75 spots, that's normal. But if you're actually traveling to someplace, like there's a guy that I deal with that sends out. He sent me 4 today. Right, they're spots around the country, mainly the Midwest and west of Mississippi, I guess. It's $150 for the feature, and they don't give you a room. And I'm like, none of these are even option for me.
Well, you're losing money.
Yeah.
It's like,
and what's really bizarre is if you go west of New York and New Jersey or east of California, as you get more and more towards the middle, the pay goes up.
Yes. They're desperate.
Yeah.
See, New York has tons of comedy clubs. Boston, tons of comedy clubs. LA, tons of comedy clubs. San Francisco. You got Chicago. That's it. I live in Dallas. There's 7 million people in DFW. You know how many comedy clubs we have?
No idea.
Are you sure?
Austin has them more, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Austin does have a lot more.
Yeah.
But that was true when I was doing it. Because I was in the Midwest. So when I started going the other places, I'm like, well, that's not enough money. That's, and this is when there weren't as many comedy clubs, though. And so these sort of middle tier city, Springfield, Missouri, and Bloomington, Illinois, or whatever, they would just turn a hotel. That would be a comedy club for a night.
That's literally what I've been doing. And if there was places that wanted to do a comedy show in the Midwest that would say, hey, it's this much dollars for a show, I would go if it was worthwhile.
Right. But I can tell you this, when I was doing it in 87, oh man. I mean, I was opening for $500 a show.
Especially in the middle, right? In the middle of the country.
Yes. Yeah. And I was on a caravan. So we would do, Columbus, Ohio, Akron, Ohio, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Chicago.
I would love to get on one of those, dude. I get enough vacation days where I can take a fucking week and do that shit.
Well, so
True Vinny Beetle story. He fucking got a sponsor for a tour. I want to say like New Orleans and down there, right? Like maybe 10 shows. He got like $4,000 from a major alcohol company. And then he booked this kid to do all the shows because Vinny Beetle's not funny. So he's not a comedian. He booked this kid on all these shows, and then he fucked off and didn't give his half of the money to the kid. And then this kid on his own dime had to fucking drive between 10 venues over a fucking 2-week period and do all these shows because he didn't want to look like an asshole not showing up.
Yeah.
But Vinny Beetle, they're supposed to split the money from the sponsor.
Well, and of course,
plus they were getting money from the fucking venues too.
Well, and Vinny, of course, is going to ask him to do his money part up front so the kid can pay for all the posters and shit. But anyway,
Duke was asking what my some of my favorite shows are.
Well,
give me. I mean, I love Sopranos.
Well, just a second. I was holding that off because I had something. I'll put it up there. But
yeah.
So you play the 3 small towns, and then you would play Friday and Saturday night in the big town, and normally you're doing 2 shows a night.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, they would even have like a Sunday afternoon comedy thing. They want
matinee thing.
Not very often.
Is that a clean show though?
No, it was a hangover. It was they call it a hangover show.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody's hungover from Saturday night, and but anyway, the money was, it was really good. I mean, you were making, and by the way, always room was taken care of. The only bad part of it was you drove from town to town.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in a
that part doesn't bother me at all.
Well, you're in a van with
eight sweaty pieces of shit.
3 other comics, and the first couple days it's fun. But by the last day, when you're driving home, you're like, the fucker says one goddamn word, I'm stabbing him to death and leaving him along the side of the road. I mean, it's just too much time around people. So No Filter Paul, what are some of your favorite shows? Asking so Rumpled gets an idea of which episode is best for you first. Good idea.
So does he want to know like 80s shows like Fall Guy and Rocket Files? I haven't seen either of those shows in fucking 30 years.
Rumpled is very he's a creator himself. So if you tell him, he'll get the theme or the
I do like the Fargo movie and TV show. That's been pretty good, even though each series is completely different. But I haven't hated any of them.
No.
Sopranos, like I said. Breaking Bad took me a little while to get into. I watched the first episode right at the start and went, what the fuck is this? And didn't watch it. And then when all the hype about the last season came out, I binge watched the whole thing.
And you liked it.
Yeah, I do like, stuff like that.
I got to a point with Breaking Bad where I was like, hey, Walter, you got enough money. Quit trying to be a badass. You're not really a fucking badass. I've seen you fight. But I got over it. The end, that's one of the better major critically acclaimed fan loved shows. That's one of the better endings. That final episode was satisfying, dramatic, everything else. A lot of them are not.
Did you like the ending of the Better Call Saul?
Yeah. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's where he was headed the whole time. He even says so. It was if you remember on Breaking Bad, when he was talking about, I think maybe it was Walt going into witness protection, and he's like, hey, do what you want. Working at a Cinnabon in Tulsa ain't for me. And that's where he ends up doing, or wherever it was.
Right. I hate Game of Thrones. I have no interest in it, even though 2 of my friends are producers on it, which is really embarrassing.
Well, for you, that's just like,
I'm not into the fucking, I'm not even into, the what was it, the two towers? What's that shitting thing called? The Hobbit and all that crap.
Yeah.
I got through like the first one and went, The Wire is fucking awesome, especially the first 2 series of it when it was actually about The Wire.
Game of Thrones for you is just like, you learn all that stuff in school for history, right? I mean, because that all took place in England.
I guess.
That's like a documentary. It's not really a dramatic show. I mean,
dude, when I was at school, we had to watch Jason and the Argonauts and all that Greek mythology bullshit.
Jason, that's so you like The Wire? You like? Is there any like 70s?
I'm trying to think. Well, in the 70s,
yeah,
I did like the Rockford Files. I did like the Fall Guy. What other big shows were there?
Fall Guy. 70s action shows. A-Team, of course, we mentioned them.
A-Team was good.
Let's see here.
Do you ever go back and watch some of these fucking things and go, "Oh my god, what is this?"
No, all of them. I'm a freak for old TV and old radio. I love that stuff. I've got Rockford.
I have so many British shows. I have a couple of guys that worked at TV channels in England, and they get me shows that they still have the shit in the commercials where they're all talking and hanging out. It's like off of the recording right off of the fucking board. There's no TV commercials. There's time codes on stuff. They have placards on the front that have chalk written on them. It's so fucking. And the countdown clock, dude, is you wind it up. I'm not even shitting you.
Well, some of them, they would use their fingers to do the final countdown. But
yeah, I saw
that. When satellite TV first started in the United States, you would get these feeds of live events, like a boxing match or a race or even a live television program. And when you went to commercial, you heard everything that these producers and everyone was saying while they were producing the show. I remember one was was at my grandma's house. We were watching a NASCAR race, and they cut away after a wreck. And second they cut off, the guy goes, "I think that guy's fucking dead. He's got to be fucking dead." He must have said that 27 times over about a 30-second period of time. My grandma's sitting there going, that fella must not know he's on the TV.
I actually am a big fan of satellite feeds that go back to TV channels for like all kinds of things. Like the newest one was the MTV Music Awards was on, the Europe one was on, and on the satellite feed there was a second audio channel where you could hear the control room, and I can listen to that shit all day. I have so many recordings of shows where I have the audio track from the control room, and it's literally my favorite thing ever.
Let's see.
I can watch ballet dancing. If I can hear the guy in the box going, "This fucking girl is too fat." If I can hear that, bro, it's gold. I just love that. I've got so many hours of shows where I have that.
Okay, so
big fan of that crap. Big fan of listening to.
Do you want just dramas, or do you care?
I was looking through the list.
Okay.
Like the top 80s ones.
Charlie's
I'm trying
Angels.
to think what I even watched. I did
Dallas.
watch Starsky and Hutch, I think. Fame I watched.
Dallas.
Miami Vice I watched.
Dallas
I'm trying to think of any of this. Dallas, I was like, Dallas and Dynasty, I'm like, I just can't deal with this. You know? And of course, when it was Dallas was like, oh, that whole series was a dream. We're bringing this guy back. You're like, what?
Quincy, did you watch
Cagney
Quincy?
and Lacey I did watch back in the day. I'm just trying to think of any of this stuff on the American side that I fucking watched in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I did rewatch Oz. I did rewatch 6 Feet Under. And if I'm not gay from those two shows, I'm never going to be.
$6 Million Man, Battlestar Galactic,
Fantasy. Yeah.
Fantasy.
You got to find me think of a show of the 80s that I've rewatched recently. None of those shows.
Huh. Well, anyway, hopefully that gives you guys enough to tell him what the hell he ought to be watching. So I have the entire box set of The Fugitive, the TV show. Did you ever see that?
I never watched Lost. Did you ever watch Lost?
Yeah, I watched it bumper to bumper.
Is it worth watching?
See,
someone told me it went downhill after a few seasons.
I think
is the ending like fucking horrifically. You're like, why did I just waste the last 3 months of my life watching this show?
I think it is very much worth watching. The ending you may not like. There's also one season that's a little like, what am I? Okay, they're just kind of. The biggest problem with Lost is that I don't think they knew how they wanted to end the series when they started it. So a lot of things that they created that were mysterious and intriguing, you're going, okay, that's cool. Yeah, what's that all about? And a lot of things don't get paid off, and the ones that do might be confusing and stuff, but it's a good ride. I would say this: watch the very first episode, and if you like it, it's good. Go about 4 deep or 3 deep. If you're not into it, 3 or 4 in, you're not gonna be.
Like the new Westworld's a shit, right? The old Westworld's are good. Orange is the New Black. I think that went downhill as well. I've probably watched 4 episodes of Seinfeld ever. I'm just looking at this list of the top 25 things you can binge watch. Fleabag was great. I don't know if you saw that. Friends, I get Friends and that other shit. And Seinfeld, I can never sit and watch 400 episodes of Friends. I don't care.
So Rumpled Trenchcoat, this is perfect. He does this all the time. Lost was a fun ride, but the destination wasn't great. That describes it absolutely perfect. Yes, and Dupa, you noticed that as well. You typed Lost a second before Paul said it. Yeah, I think I said it before you typed it. So anyway, but yeah, send him a thing. He'll tell you about it. But
what was the other show? There was another big show that was on the same time as Lost. Fuck, I can never remember it.
What was it about?
I don't know. Oh,
you absolutely know. Yeah, well,
I just know there was a couple because I was always a a guy that would not watch regular TV because I need him to talk like Sopranos. I need them to talk like I talk with my friends. I can't watch NBC, you know.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, I'm totally in with Tulsa King.
What was that? No,
Totally in with Tulsa King.
Rock. So does Yellowstone. What was that show?
Last night, someone told me to watch Yellowstone.
It's a British show, and it's kind of like the X-Men a little bit. It's these kids, and I think they're in a special school that's almost like a prison, and they have special powers. But
that's not The Boys, right?
No. It was way before The Boys. But these kids are all like bad kids. So it's not like they're goody two-shoes and trying to become superheroes. They're being trained for that. But what they really want to do is steal, lie, fuck, kill. I mean, and so they're being controlled so they don't do those things. I'll find it here in a second. Let's see. Fleabag was wonderful.
Yeah, I like Fleabag.
You got to check out MHZ World. It's got the best shows from everywhere. Yeah, you got to read subtitles.
Let's see how good you are at movie trivia, because I know you're pretty up on this shit. The girl that was in Fleabag, the star of it, and who wrote Fleabag, what else? What did she write after that?
I don't know. I never seen Fleabag.
Oh, really? You should watch it.
When did it come out?
She went on to be more of a writer, and she wrote one of the James Bond movies.
Huh.
I think was it Quantum of Solace? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, one of the later Bond movies.
Yeah, I mean after Fleabag, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know when Fleabag came out. This is the first I've heard of this movie ever.
It's not a movie; it's a TV series.
First I've heard of this TV series.
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. It's not worth it.
Oh, you don't have Amazon?
No, I got it when I was in Utah, ordering huge amounts off of Amazon Prime because there was no stores there, and I noticed I'm not getting free delivery in 2 days. This is bullshit. And then I go to buy something, all the movies that are free, I'm like, well, that I paid for supposedly. I thought when you bought Amazon Prime, it was like having an HBO subscription, and all that stuff is now.
It is, but any movies that are new, you have to pay $40 for.
Well, not even that. There because wasn't dying to watch new stuff. A lot of stuff is off the grid. It's not in the free, and all the free stuff. I'm like, I got 9 streaming channels. I already get this shit. So anyway, I finally just said,
well, Amazon has that free channel now called Freevee.
Yeah.
That you can watch half the shit that's on Amazon just with commercials. So she wrote No Time to Die, and she also created Killing Eve, which is a big British show that some people will know or will not know. Misfits. Is it Misfits?
I think it is. Yes. In fact, it without question is Misfits.
I think I have that. I download from this one place. I get so many British shows. I said I get all the old ones with the time coding and shit. These guys, I swear to God, they must have worked there because they get shit, and it's like a tight circle, so it doesn't get out on fucking the BitTorrent bullshit. But I have so many shows that I knew of when I was a kid that there's no DVDs of them anywhere. There's no VHSs of them.
Dude, I watched.
Pretty sure I have Misfits. Pretty sure I have that one.
We must have a delay.
For what?
For the audio. Because I'm talking and so I just went back and watched the Thunderbirds. Like the whole.
Oh yes, I've watched that recently too.
Yeah, the whole series. But did you go back and watch Captain Scarlet and the Mysterians?
I watched Joe 90.
Yeah, that's a good one. Is that the new one?
No. It was on back then.
Okay, there's a new. Somebody is making Super Mario animation, but the funny part is they're using CGI to do it. And
yeah, I watched that and the first Evil Dead because it's shitty.
Yes.
I'm not watching any of this. The new Evil Dead, that one Evil Dead Rise that was quite recent, that was fucking good because it was just a non-stop fucking bloodbath. But I like watching old horror movies like Driller Killer and Last House on the Left and all those fucking movies where the British government thought they were real and shit themselves back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, and to me they're just horrible, and I'll show somebody them and they'll be like, this is not real, you know that, right? And I'm like, obviously it's not real.
Yeah, it's all practical effects and condoms filled with blood and for intestines. I love Driller Killer. Absolutely love Driller Killer.
And doesn't he only kill? He only kills people with a fucking drill one time in the movie, which made me laugh really hard.
Well, yeah, because everybody else, he just makes a hole and pours shit down there, and they end up just being kind of stupid. But he, what was the movie? Evil Dead. I got to tell you, Evil Dead is sort of rudimentary and it's not real. That movie scared the piss out of me. I don't get scared at movie. There's a lot of movies I watch that are horror films where the monster, the entity. I'm like, does anybody have? I live in Texas. Does anybody have a piece? Because you might, it's coming. Everything else, just you might want to start shooting at it and things like that. And so these movies where people are like, I'm gonna go hide in the closet. What? Hide in the closet? But I don't get scared at movies like that. And we were talking about this earlier, Rumpel, the video nasties. We knew about that over here. We knew, hey, in England, you can't watch Blood Feast. You can't watch 10,000 Maniacs. You can't watch.
We had all that in the video store. And the thing that started it, there was Driller Killer, Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Ferox, and
I spit on your grave. I spit on your grave.
I spit on your grave, but that was a different reason.
The corpse grinders. Children shouldn't play with dead things.
Go Video put out Cannibal Holocaust and SS Experiment Camp, and then Vipco put out Driller Killer. And the thing that started it was the video covers and the advertising in the magazines had nothing to do with the movies. It was those 3 movies. They put out full-page ads of some fucking woman eating an entrail. And then, of course, they started looking, and then, I Spit on Your Grave was a huge one. And then the worst one was Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. The distributor of that was told to put out an edited copy. He didn't, and they gave him 21 months in jail.
Jesus.
That was the worst thing of the whole thing.
Even for me here, there was the regular video stores where you'd get your conventional movies. And then there was a guy in this bohemian part of Indianapolis who had a garage that had like bookshelves stacked all in the garage. And you just went over there and he'd open the garage door and people would just walk around. And that's where I got to see Blood Feast. Like I mentioned, all the Herschel Gordon, the Corpse Grinders, the Gore Girls, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, all of that stuff, you couldn't get at a quote unquote regular video store. Of course, now I have it all on very high quality DVD. But there was a lot of those, and we knew because I was writing for Film Threat magazine. It's like we knew the movies. Well, we had the list.
Yeah,
they were kind enough to make a list of the video nasties.
Yeah, there was 39 of them that people went to jail for, and then the actual list was about 70. And they 1 month they'd be on the list, and then they'd say it's bullshit and take it off. But there was 39 that were on the list the whole time. That they called it the DPP 39. The Director of Public Prosecutions, 39 movies.
Well, and it was very obvious that a lot of these movies, even over here, the cover, naked chick with a sloth.
Well, S's Experiment Camp, she was hung upside down naked, and it was the crappiest drawing you've ever seen. But all the old ladies like, oh my God.
And they were drawings. There was a lot of them that were artwork instead of a photo. And you'd get the movie and watch it, and it takes place in a farmhouse, and it's a psychological thriller or something like that.
The cover of Driller Killer was that one picture with the guy with the drill in his head.
Yes.
That was the cover. You know what I rewatched? It's so funny you say what movie creeped you out. There was this one movie I watched. It was the sequel to Reanimator. Do you remember the movie From Beyond?
Yes, I have it.
Right. I just watched the 4K one like 2 days ago. That movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Wow.
And I watched it and I'm like, why? Like, what a fucking pussy.
Well, there's the Driller Killer director went on to do big stuff.
Abel Ferreira.
Yeah. Now, the one thing that I tell people, I tell Americans this. I love the show about this, by the way. I could watch it forever and ever and ever. American people, when I tell them this, they say, fake news, what's your source? People in England must pay out of their pocket for a license to watch television and listen to the radio.
That's what pays for the BBC.
And that's what pays for the state television. It doesn't pay for Sky, though, does it?
Nope, that's pay per view. That's a pay service like cable.
Yeah.
Or like DirecTV.
But like what we have, because we consider broadcasting a national, not a natural, but a national resource.
You've got to remember the BBC doesn't have advertising.
It doesn't.
There's no commercial breaks on the BBC.
Oh.
So that's why you're paying for it. Whereas ITV, which is Channel 3, and then you got Channel 4 and Channel 5, which are all terrestrial channels. Then you got a few other ones, and then everything else is on satellite or direct, cable or whatever. But yeah, the BBC, they're starting to sneak in sponsorships now on the BBC, which is why people are flipping out about the license fee going up.
Yeah.
They're like, brought to you by Cannibal Ferox, today's weather. And I'm like, that's advertising. I know what so everybody's freaking out about that. But yeah, there's no commercials.
And you have this police force that drives around with these things that can detect.
I don't know how that works anymore because an LCD screen works completely different to a fucking cathode ray tube.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did have the fucking trucks with the big ass that looks like you're watching Thunderbirds.
It's like The Prisoner. They're like going through the village trying to find. You got a big. Anyway,
one of the episodes of Bottom, the sequel to The Young Ones, the licensed detector guy comes to the door, and no, it was Young Ones. It wasn't. It was episode of Young Ones where Rick, the guy, came to the door, and Vivian ate the television, so they didn't have to pay the license fee.
Well, then they have. I always love it because this is the threshold of my domicile. You mustn't cross it, and all the arguments and stuff. But man, oh man, the people from the United States are just. I tell them that, and they're like, "No, that's not real. That's not real. That's not real." I said, "Well, you realize all the BBC shows aren't done by like a quote traditional TV network. That is a state-funded network." That's communism. They don't do that over there. Okay, whatever.
Well, they don't have any control over it, but of course they'll, if something bad happens, they'll put their fucking 2 pennies in.
Yeah,
the Young Ones is the best. The new Blu-ray edition of The Young Ones has a bootleg episode of The Young Ones and 2 work print versions of Young Ones episodes where the footage is different. We've had this bootleg episode. What it was after the second season, they made another episode that had a lot of outtakes in it and like some reshoots and kind of stuff. It wasn't original, but it had all this outtake stuff, and it was like an underground tape that few people had, and it was really cool, And then of course, this one guy that runs if you want to know about crazy behind the scenes shit on British TV, I think it's called dirtyfeed.org. I'm sure that's what it is. This guy actually works on the DVDs now and finds all this old shit to put on the DVDs as extras. So this guy, this is how deep this guy goes, Tom. Yeah, I think it's dirtyfeed.org. It's just Dirty Feed is the name of the site. But he did a fucking blog post the other day about you ever hear of the show with Mrs. Bouquet on it?
Yeah, it's called Keeping Up Appearances.
Right. This is the blog he did, and he spent days researching this. Brace yourself. He researched what the old guy was watching on the TV in each episode. He went back to the documentation from the episodes and looked up what it was, and he actually put together, this is 10 seconds from this movie. It got to the point where he was watching the TV so much in that show, they went out and shot 10-second bits to put on the TV just when he was looking at the TV.
And he always was.
Very deep. Dirty Feed is it's got the Young Ones had these things called flash frames. Do you know about that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if you want to know about the flash, they made them take the last flash frame out because the government kicked in and said, "This is like you're trying to convince people. It's like mental." So they actually took they took the last episode out of the last flash frame out of it, but they did it. They made fun of it on Spit and Image, which is another great show from England. They actually put up a caption saying "fuck you" to this fucking guy about this cat. They just wrote "fuck you" for making us take this, because they did it on Spit and Image too. But yeah, Dirty Feet is great, dude. Dirty Feet is one of those sites like you go down the rabbit hole and you look at the clock and it's 4 a.m. You're like, oh my god.
Is this Mrs. Bouquet's husband, or is it?
Remember the husband is always in the vest watching the TV.
Yes, and he comes up once in a while, but he's the upscale one because I think isn't her daughter has the real white trashy family.
Yeah, no, it's the guy. It's the trashy. Yes, what's his name? I can't remember his fucking name now. I should know it.
Yes, he's never anywhere but in front of there. That's what I was trying to get at. Is it?
Yeah. So read if you wanted that, and if they are obsessed with the flash frames in Young Ones. They are obsessed. He just makes you're like, why did he even fucking Onslow is his name. I think you may have spelled that wrong, but Onslow. I think it's ONZ, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, Onslow. Yeah, this guy he works. He worked on the Blu-ray that just came out of the Young Ones, and he was the one who found these work print tapes from people with all different edits and shit. He does a lot. There's a lot of Blu-ray collections if you buy a Blu-ray from a British TV show, but the really fully loaded, like super ultimate version.
Yes.
Fucking guy, you're like, what? Who wakes up at 3 a.m. and says, "I'm gonna research for a week and a half on what Onslow's watching on TV"?
I don't know, man, but
it's
there's
fucking amazing. It's just you're just like, this is so great. It's so stupid.
You stumble across that shit all the time, where it's like someone analyzes what's on Sipowitz's desk.
Oh, dude, you got
or what kind of fish he has.
It's so funny you say that because again, on this same site, I think it's Onslow again. It's behind. There's a bookcase behind, and he's like, they filmed this episode here, and then they filmed the third episode because the bookcase hasn't changed. But in episode 2, it's a whole new layout. They put all this shit in different places, and it's brutal.
You don't even want to know about. Well, you can imagine Star Trek.
Those people are nuts.
They can. I can do it now too.
I'm just as nuts on the Young Ones, though.
I can tell how deep into the season the episode is by Jim Kirk's waistline. When the season started, he always showed up in amazing shape, and they usually had his shirt off and stuff. But it's a television show, and back then they huge production times, and they shoot until 2 a.m. As the season went on, number one, he couldn't exercise. Number two, he's starting to eat a lot.
Right.
So that's when he gets kind of paunchy, and he wears the shirt all the time. And I have seen some amazing things. There was a show called Due South, and is it? RCP 7137. There's a license plate that's not just on one car throughout that series. For whatever reason, every episode, that particular plate is on a different car.
God, I'm gonna call you on that because Beverly Hills Cop 2, right?
Yeah.
Remember at the start of the movie, they show up in the limo and they shoot up the jewelry store.
Yeah.
So in the close-ups, the limo has like a random license plate, but from the helicopter it says Dent. And Dent is the name of the guy that it gives away the whole story. If you see the license plate.
Yeah.
So they actually, when they filmed the helicopter version of the limo, it had the wrong license plate on it, which gives away half the movie once you put the thing that, it's so stupid.
Have you heard this theory?
And talking about you saying you can see someone's fatter. The outside scenes on the TV show it's done in film. It was very common back in the day in British TV. Was external stuff was film and in studio was video.
Here's well.
So again, you could fucking say, the outside scene for this episode was filmed the same day as this. I mean, dude, if you want to go down a fucking rabbit hole, that Dirty Feet is fucking retarded.
Have you heard this theory? Have you heard the theory about Raiders of the Lost Ark?
No.
Okay. That whole movie was unnecessary. If Indiana Jones had done nothing, because they get that crate at the beginning of the movie, and the whole movie is about keeping a hold of the Lost Ark and not letting the Germans get it and blah, blah, blah. Well, what happens when the Germans open it? They turn to liquid, and the people who should have had the Ark get it. So if Indiana Jones had done absolutely nothing and let the Germans steal it and take it away, it would have had the exact same effect of all the shit that went on in that movie.
That's the same as Labyrinth. 1 minute into that, when they walk into the maze, if she went left, the whole movie would be over.
Well,
no, that's true, because she goes, which way's the car? Which way do I go? And the little fucking bug or whatever the fuck it is, just go right. And he's like, okay. And then as soon as she walks up the thing, the little bug goes, if she went to the left, that would go right to the castle.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
What was that? What was that Thunderbird show? Was that Captain Scarlet you said to watch?
Captain Scarlet and the Mysterians.
I'm going to look that one up.
Yeah. It's, by the way, in reviewing those, because I watched them as a kid, and as a kid, you always wanted to see, I want to see the big green one that thinks, that's a cool ship. And you didn't even care about all the people in Penelope and somebody get brains, that one that was real smart. Anyway, very violent and extremely racist. There's a couple episodes that have people from the Middle East like piloting a fighter jet.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
My God! If you want to talk about a bad character, but very violent, and Captain Mysterian, everybody dies in that little kid's show, and it's not like a good death, like my heart, it's blown up, stabbed, fallen into a laser liquefier. It's awful.
There's a huge British show called Only Fools and Horses, and they have to edit that shit. My friend took 27 episodes they edited and rebuilt each episode piece by piece from VHSs, from home movies, and all this craziness. And then there's some others you have. There's another one. There's a scene in that where he falls into a thing of tar on the side of the road, and he comes up like looking like this, and he turns around, and there's two Indian people sitting there, and they're like, hey, and you're like, oh, they can't have that,
Yeah.
But it's Only Fools and Horses is a family that work on a market, and they sell stolen shit out of suitcases. That's the whole show, and all the Cockney fucking racist stuff they fucking, oh my God, it's so fucking, honestly, it's hilarious, but you can see why they get pissed off.
There's an American show, you probably have seen it. I mean, we have lots of Westerns. The Rifleman.
I never heard.
You never heard of The Rifleman?
No.
Oh, you got to watch The Rifleman. You got to watch The Rifleman. Please watch The Rifleman. They're only half hour long episodes, so they're easy to watch.
1958 we're talking about here.
Oh, they're so good. So the thing about The Rifleman was that they would get these awards because Lucas McCain, the Rifleman, was a single father. The mother had died, so he's raising his son out on this ranch. He's trying to make a go of it, and they would win all these awards for family decency and wholesomeness, because he was stern but fair, and it was all that. But also, it was one of the most violent shows on TV. So they'd get all these wonderful awards, and then they would get these, this show should be taken off. 4 people were killed in the first 3 minutes of this movie. Sam Peckinpah wrote and directed most of the early episodes, and he's famous for The Wild Bunch and all these stylized 70s slow motion people being shot movies. The Rifleman. You ought to check it out, man.
You saw 40 Towers, right?
Oh yeah.
So there's one scene in 40 Towers where the major, who is doddery old fuck, he just walks out there and he's like, I gotta word this carefully. He's like, you watching the cricket? And he's like, yeah, we're watching it. And my wife says, look at all these N-words. And he goes, they're not N-words, they're wogs. The other ones are the N-words. And you're just sitting there like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the BBC pussied out and took it out, But actually, when that all first started, the BBC took all these shows off, like Little Britain. There's so much got people dressed up as black people in that. But they've actually brought a lot of it back now, and they just put a caption on the front saying this is from this time, and it has this in it. And if you don't want to watch it, then stop being a fucking pussy and fuck off.
Well,
but they took so much off the British stuff from like the fucking 70s. If you took all the racist stuff out of it, ain't off Hot Mom or fucking Dad's Army, dude, the fucking show would be 6 minutes long.
Yeah. Or the Young Doctors. Remember the Young Doctors? Yeah, Dad's Army was another one that was just.
Oh no, fucking what the fuck? I just said the name of it too. Some mothers do have them. It's the army based in like fucking Borneo or somewhere, and there's black people with bones through their noses just walking through like it's a normal day. You're like, oh wow, there's no way they're ever showing this again. No fucking chance of watching this.
Yeah, I don't know. There's certain episodes of shows here that have been taken off. They don't show them anymore. But for the most part, they do. Think about the New England Patriots, their whole 2014, whatever season it was, where a double convicted murderer is playing tight end. It's like the NFL films people were probably going back in and going, yeah, let's focus on Gronk a little more. Let's maybe a little more Gronk. But that whole story, right?
No, I didn't know who Gronk was until I watched the roast of fucking Tom Brady.
Well, no, the guy that killed himself was Aaron Hernandez. He was the other
because fucking what's his name? Fucking Tony Hinchcliffe did a joke about how Kevin Hart needs to use the stool that Aaron Hernandez kicked out from under him.
Exactly. So he gets convicted. He hasn't been sentenced, and he commits suicide. So that brought into play. Well, technically, he's not a convicted murderer because he hasn't been sentenced.
Do they do that? I thought in this country they do some court cases, like even if they're dead. Do they still do that?
They can do some kinds of posthumous, but that one, the ones that they do are mostly financial. They can make.
Oh, there's someone, so they can take the money out of their fucking estate or whatever.
But like, without him actually being in, first of all, there's no reason to sentence a dead body. Second of all, unless you're into that kind of thing. But second of all, he's not there to plead with the jury and his puppy dog eyes and all that stuff. So you can't really do it. So
his lawyer laughs when they give him life. Like, nah, nope. Nope.
All right, I'm gonna let you go. We talked our heads off here. Thanks, man.
I'm gonna look at this Rifleman, and I'm gonna look at this Captain Scarlet.
Yeah, the Rifleman's just it's good sort of side. If you want to see a whole bunch of like people that eventually became movie stars and whatever, they're all.
Duper's asking a question of how did Britain react to the League of Gentlemen? Are you talking about the British show where the dudes are always dressed up as women and no one's allowed in the village?
I think there was recently a show that came out called the League of Gentlemen. She can tell us.
No. The new one is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, isn't it?
Well, I've seen that movie, but she says yes, so I guess she is talking about dudes dressed up.
Yes, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's a bunch of dudes in dresses who kill people that are from out of town, chop them up, and there's only 4 people in the whole fucking show, and there's like one's got a dress, and then the other dude's a fat guy, and it's all the same person. They figured the script out where they can have certain angles where they got the same person playing 2 characters, and it's fucking dark. And the guys also wrote a show that I don't know if ever you'll be able to find it. It's called Inside Number 9, and it's different stories every episode. I don't even know why it's called Number 9, but there's different episodes, and people will get randomly killed in weird ways, and then some. Yeah,
there's a show.
Oh, yeah. League of Gentlemen is fucking. It took me a while to get into it, but once you're in that dark place, you're like, this is fucking amazing.
The show I used to watch when I was a kid that I would love to watch again, and every time I find it, it costs like a silly, well, really anything that costs money. I look at all the content I get for free. It's like I could never watch this. Why am I going to pay? But Danger UXB.
Okay.
Love that show. I'm just waiting for it to pop up where I can just binge it and be done with it. because I really haven't seen it in a while. I forget what channel Inside Number 9 is on.
Is it over here? I mean, it could be on Amazon or Netflix.
I haven't seen it. I recently rewatched The Prisoner. Oh, I know what I was going to say. When I tell people Faulty Towers was only 12 episodes long.
Young One was only 12.
Pardon me?
Young One was only 12 as well.
Yeah, I mean, they don't believe me. They refuse to believe me. And
the British Office was less than 20 episodes.
When I tell British people that Connie Booth was from Indianapolis, Indiana, they refuse to believe me. But she was, or is, I don't know. All right, we better.
Oh, okay, we're gonna done. We're just gonna keep going.
Are we?
No, I'm just saying. If I keep bringing up new shit, we're gonna be another 20 minutes.
Yeah, well, whatever. I don't care. I'm just trying to get you out of here because you have a life.
No, I'm good. She's asleep already. It's perfect.
Oh yeah. At some point, I got to go to the convenience mart here. Just. But,
all right, do you watch M. Night Shyamalan movies?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think they're the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. I
just watched the new one called Trap, which is on Netflix, and people hated it, which is why I watched it. Because if I read a bunch of bad reviews about something, I want to make my own opinion up.
Yeah. Well, here. Let me give you an example. I was living with this girl, and she was desperate for me to see The Sixth Sense. The first.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it.
And you figured it out 2 minutes in, right?
And about 20 minutes in, I turned to her and I go, "He's dead. You motherfucker." And I'm just like, And every subsequent movie, I just don't give a shit about the plot, the characters, anything.
Did you like The Village? Did you see The Village or not?
No, well, yes, I did see The Village. Is that the one where those people were out and
they're convinced that they can't walk out of the village? And all this shit? The Truman Show did a much better job.
Exactly. And I just can't abide his nonsense anymore. It's the same.
I can't remember what one was before Trap. The Trap is the new one, but there was one before it that was fucking brutally shit.
Misdirection.
Oh, you know what was good? Was it an M. Night Shyamalan movie? What was it? The Beach? The one where if you're on the beach, you get older real fast, and then when you walk off the beach, you stop aging.
I probably stopped watching
that. Was good. If it was called was it called The Beach? Fuck.
Dupas says the trailer to The Sixth Sense gave it away. I never saw the trailer. The Village irritated me. Old. That's the name of the movie with the beach on it. Is Old.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
All right.
Don't let it happen again.
Yeah.
All right, let's end this. I'm not even going to play.
Did Rumpold like Old? I don't know how much of a delay there is on this, but
I don't know. By now, he'll hit us back. He's really good. So we're just waiting on him now. So
in the meantime, let's bring up 9 other things.
Yeah. Let me see how many episodes of Dysfunctional I have here. And I didn't. It wasn't like I was trying to download a bunch of them or anything. But then somebody, I won't mention any names, took them all down, and I haven't.
Did you download the video or the audio?
The audio.
I can give you an FTP. You can take them all.
That's okay. I probably. Oh, goddamn. Let's see here. I got 24 and then 115 through like 124 for some reason.
Is that the ones you were on?
No, because there'd have been more than that. Maybe it was, let me see. I bet you it was that I was downloading them. Yeah, I downloaded them not all at once. So I probably downloaded
If you go to a Dysfunctional Podcast /shows, I think there's a little blurb on each show. Maybe not that big, but maybe enough for you.
Dysfunctional oldie wed game. I don't know what the hell. I don't think that's you. I've seen some people try and do the dysfunctional thing. And I'm like, nah, I think somebody else already got that covered. Like if you want some fun shock, it was good. Schlock and schlock. So there's your answer. But I don't watch any of his movies. You couldn't pay me. They're just dumb. I mean, I see why The Sixth Sense, a lot of people liked it. because that's the way.
You know what movie had a much better reveal than that? The Crying Game.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Remember when they put that out? They put adverts in. I don't know if they did it over here, but they put adverts in the newspaper telling you not to tell people what the.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, my favorite ending to a movie is, and you may not have seen this, Old Yeller.
Does he die?
No! The boy shoots him. Yeah, the kid has to shoot his own dog.
I'm hoping they bring out a sequel to Sophie's Choice.
Me too. Sophie's Choice. What the hell happened? Yeah. You know what I thought she should have done?
I've never watched it, just so you know.
I was about to say, I thought she should have killed them both.
Yeah, the sequel is 2 seconds long, and she just shoots the other one.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for this. Where can people find all your stuff and all that stuff now?
Comedy shows, dysfunctionalcomedy.com, nofilterpaul.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere as No Filter Paul. Hit me up, and I'll look out for those Columbo ideas, and then I'll not pay for the episodes and watch them somehow.
They're free with ads on, I want to say, Tubi. Yeah.
Ugh.
Or Hulu or something.
Fucking some of these names are so stupid.
What?
Tubi. That's like we used to go down a waterfall in a rubber tube.
Yeah. Well, there's Tubi, Crackle.
We used to call the fat kid at school that Tubby.
Tubi. Oh, who is that guy? JJ that we broke that one night? The fat guy. I was saying, dude.
Oh, JJ Bruno with his dead kid.
God, we broke him that night.
Because he comes on and he goes, "My kid died," and I'm like, "Do you get upset at Christmas when you walk into the bedroom and the toys are all sitting there, but there's no kid?"
Oh, we hit him from every angle.
Oh my God, he came to the show saying he could handle anything, and the gloves were off, and anything you wanted to do, give it your best shot. And he left. I'm surprised he didn't just like pull over on the parkway.
I was like, you need the jaws of life to get in the car.
Can I use that?
It's yours.
I'm writing that down.
It's yours. But man, there was another couple I got off that were just like, whoa. And I think I have some stuff. I have some random clips somewhere. Do you remember you and Denise were having a just epic yelling, screaming argument? I think Dave Hodge and I were both on. And I went, "Well, Paul and Denise, if you'd like a second date, we'd be happy to pay for it." and 2 and 2. And then it was I don't know how we got on the topic of her sealing you up in the wall.
Yeah.
What's in the wall? What's in the wall? You know.
The worst ones were towards the end when we were fucking putting up pictures of Derek Rutherford's fan club on the fucking stream.
Oh God. I had completely forgotten about him, to be honest with you, until a couple weeks ago, and I ran across that clip, and I went, "Oh man, that guy." But he used to follow me around all over the internet. Any show I was on, he was in the chat room. He was in whatever. All right, go kiss your wife on the cheek and have a lot of really life-affirming sex.
Only when she's out.
Especially if she doesn't have. Did things change after the 2 knee replacements? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, apparently knee replacements are not supposed to be kneeled on.
Well,
no, I'm serious. That's literally what I'm being told.
It's going to ruin the spontaneity. I think she's just saying that.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I thought that's supposed to be a fucking upgrade.
All right, I'm not going to play the closing. I'm just going to end it right here, and then we'll just be sitting and talking to each other. That's what's happening, right? Even as we speak right now, the show.